to 9. When you see that notification, we about to go live. Hit this track and do you dance like you current lace. Bring it back to turn Matthew to the house, baby. It's Tingle and go from 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's Tingle and go. It's Tingle and go from 7 to 9. Come keep with the show. It's a new era. Let's get it, let's go. From 7 to 9, it's Tingle and go. What up, Lloyd? What up, Lloyd? You can call me him. I'm Shaq Dixon in the whip with them RPMs. Gotta pull up to the chat and shit out to them. They're trying to ball like big folk to get out the gym. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9.
Good morning. And welcome in here on this Tuesday as we are rolling through the week. Cannot wait for August to get here, I tell you what. But appreciate you guys joining us this morning. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with your friends. Make sure you let us know in the chat if you stole a stranger's phone and subscribe to the channel for them. We had a couple of new subscribers yesterday, so I don't know. Now it keeps me on my toes because I don't know if it's actually someone finding our content or if it's our, our beloved chat going out there and snagging phones, subscribing to the channel.
I gave it to a couple of my my dad's friends who I had dinner with on Friday night, and one of them is huge into the Nashville LSU expat 65 plus scene.
There we go.
And he promised he's going to put it out there in his chats.
Love it.
Wait, what scene is he big in?
Nashville, the LSU expats up there in Nashville. He's right in the heart of it. They all hang out together.
What's an expat?
People that don't live in Louisiana anymore.
Oh.
They like LSU.
I didn't know that was a term. I'm sorry.
He said he's going to spam the
let them all
group
know.
with it.
Well, I would love that. I would love for these 65-year-olds to be in the chat.
And I said, we're disgusting morons, and he said they're fine with that. So
Good. Perfect. Well,
This
appreciate
is how-
you guys.
this is how
Hopefully
this
it's
is how
people
we
stealing
infiltrate.
phones.
This is it.
This is how we infiltrate tiger dropping.
This is how it happens.
This is how we win.
This is how we become Tiger Droppings.
Because there was a thread yesterday asking where Jordy was.
Was there actually? Oh, I haven't seen that. Let me pull it up now. But good morning, Lloyd and kinfolk.
howdy.
How are we doing? How are y'all? Lloyd, you're doing well.
I'm well.
How was
Post-coital after
how was Garrett
Curiel made a
Nussmeier
new
last
best
night?
friend.
Yeah, how was
He
that
awesome.
last night?
He was awesome. Everything as advertised. Enjoy him for one more year because he will be leaving.
Yeah, no, I mean he looked.
I pitched him,
Did you?
but I'm 0 for 1 on pitches.
What'd you hit him with?
Why not stat?
Oh,
You still have leverage.
compelling.
It's like you're saying all the right things. You put yourself on the Mount Rushmore of LSU baseball players. And Mikey, the funniest thing was Mikey. Absolutely was. It felt like he was looking in a mirror, and he just like stumbled over it. It looked like I was watching a man on a first date.
Yeah.
That didn't know how to talk to girls, and I was like, Mikey. So I had to step in. I'm not doing that anymore. Like that's what I said. This is your one free pass. I don't want to work that hard, but had to lay the path.
Right.
And me and Curiel, good fellow.
Well, that's good. I'm glad.
And then Mikey found his way. But it's funny. If you do want to watch the interview, it's on Mic'd Up, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
But yeah, no, I mean, I figured I had been waiting for y'all to get Curiel in because
Called
I
a
figured
shot.
he was going to be excellent, an excellent interview because he's very put together, like well spoken.
He's like he's made in the lab.
Yes, like it's almost like he's been trained his entire life. Like you're going to be a professional baseball player because that's who he is. Not only on the field but like off the field, he just exudes professional athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and to the highest extent. So make sure you go check that out on Mic'd Up's YouTube channel. But like we said, good morning to all of you guys. We appreciate you joining us. But yeah, no, I just pulled up the Tiger Droppings thread.
There's
Let's
a comment
see.
in there that's funny.
Oh yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. It's hilarious.
Oh, P-Dub.
Haven't listened in probably over a year. Well, thanks, Crow Tiger. I mean, we still did a show less than a year. But good morning, you guys. Make sure, did everyone watch
P-Dub.
Eddie? He didn't watch Eddie?
P-Dub forgot.
I watched it last night on 2x speed on YouTube because you literally cannot find it anywhere. The perfect start to our movie. But we'll obviously get into that in the 8 o'clock hour this morning after we are joined by Glenn West at 8 a.m. to talk some LSU football as he was at SEC Media Days last week. The way I know that is because when I was watching it on television, they panned the cameras over to one of the media tables, I think when Garrett Nussmeier was speaking, and you saw just a group of media members, some, all these, the top of their heads around 6 foot, and then, whoop, who's that hanging out up there?
Just your average 6'10" fella?
That's your average 6'10" senior writer from 247 Sports, Glenn West. And I was watching, Mom was like, look at that tall guy. I was like, that's my guy, G-Dubs.
Glenny Dubs.
It's my guy, Glenn West. He's been crushing it every time we've had him on. He is a regular, and we're going to make sure it stays that way through football season. Into the headlines this morning, Garrett Nussmeier was in, I believe, Lake Charles yesterday talking some LSU football, and Jacques Doucet got a little bit of sound from LSU's starting quarterback. Obviously, we talked about him a good bit yesterday when it came to expectations and the fact that he was absolutely snubbed from all SEC first-team quarterback as the honor was given to Lenoris Sellers instead. Well, then I looked at what the first, second, and third-team quarterbacks were, Lloyd, and it's Sellers, Nussmeier, and Arch. And so, obviously, to me, the Sellers and Arch, you're betting on just sheer potential for first and third team, because then you give Arch the nod over Lagway when Lagway played a lot more football last season than Arch did.
They might as well have just done Sellers,
Arch, Lagway.
Yep.
Just don't even put none, because none of your storylines are making any sense right now. It's not matching up.
No.
But we'll get into that as well. But here is some of the sound that our guy, the greatest of all time, Jacques Doucet from WFB9, the sports director over there, got with Nussmeier talking about this coming up season at LSU.
But for me, it's just about, it's impossible to completely ignore all the noise, but for me, it's just about focusing on what I want to accomplish this year, and that's leading the LSU Tigers to the national championship. So, my individual goals come from the team goals. That's my main goal is just to do everything I can, be the best version of myself that I can be, and hopefully do enough to take us where we want to go.
The 2025 LSU football season opener is 6 Saturdays away, and senior quarterback Garrett Nussmeier is leading the way. After finally starting for a full season, Nussmeier is now the face of the team and hopes to improve enough to help LSU take that next step. Nussmeier just recently in his birthplace of Lake Charles, Louisiana. He stopped by a PJ's Coffee with plenty of fans dressed in purple and gold, eager to meet the Tiger star. The Heisman Trophy contender, joined by former McNeese football coaches and current members of the LSU coaching staff, Lance Guidry and Frank Wilson. The trio signing autographs and having a good time. Nussmeier excited about this edition of the Tigers.
Obviously, we're very stacked. It's the deepest roster that I've been on at LSU. It's definitely the closest team I've been on at LSU as well, and I think that's been kind of the difference maker thus far. So just continuing throughout the rest of this offseason, we're a week away from camp, and just continuing to build those relationships, continuing on focus on our chemistry and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to it.
There he is, LSU's starting quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier, talking to JD yesterday in Lake Chuck, previewing the season, talking about some of the noise. He said, the quote at the beginning was, "It's impossible to completely ignore all the noise, but for me, it's just about focusing on what I want to accomplish this year, and that's leading the LSU Tigers to a national championship." Look, the noise is loud, both positive and negative right now around LSU football. And so we will obviously get into that discussion more as the show rolls on this morning, and when we talk to Glenn West at 8 a.m. To start the second hour. And other news, LSU men's basketball. We have not talked a lot about it, but there are still, I wouldn't say, I guess you could say similar expectations, or that's in a similar position to football. Now, not national championship ready, but kind of a postseason or bust season coming up for Matt McMahon, where the money was finally ponied up, got some financial support, exhausted all the options to build this roster. And the pressure is on in 2025, 2026 And they made a couple of staff hires over the offseason as well, and one of those hires was Yasir Roseman, who joined the coaching staff as an assistant coach, but he is now leaving and is headed to Oregon, which I believe is his alma mater. He's a Oregon grad, and so he recently was hired by LSU to be on Matt McMahon's staff, but is now headed to his alma mater to coach at the University of Oregon. So we'll obviously be on the lookout to see what additions Matt McMahon makes to his staff to fill that hole.
Whoopee.
And make sure, we pay attention to LSU men's basketball. We'll get into them, their discussion a little bit more as the season gets closer because the expectations are very high. I saw on this account for the host of Locked On Clemson a couple of interesting kind of talking points, I guess you could call them, where he's discussing LSU and the season opener for Clemson. And these are just some talking points I want to open up with this morning, and then we'll obviously come back to it as the show continues on this morning. But this is him talking about the LSU offensive line because this is really the story of the game. Like, I watched that, I think I sent it to you, Lloyd, yesterday, the Todd McShay clip where he talked about the Clemson defense and how, like, there's 2 top 10 picks on the defensive line, and then these cornerbacks, these DBs that they have, like, it's a very, very stout Clemson defense. But the talk of the Clemson defense is that defensive line that has NFL talent littered throughout it. And they said that it feels like Clemson of old. And obviously, if you're going to look at LSU and say what's the most glaring weakness from a position group standpoint, you would say offensive line. And here are some of this is the breakdown that they made of the LSU offensive line. Tyree Adams, obviously left tackle, 2 starts. Josh Thompson, the 5th-year Northwestern transfer. Braylon Moore, the Virginia Tech transfer. And then they have DJ Chester, freshman All-SEC, moving to right guard. And then Weston Davis, a 5-star with no experience.
Doesn't even know it's Weston Banks.
Yeah, he must not know about the legend Weston Banks. But this is an interesting talking point that we'll obviously get into later on in the show, but I just wanted to get it opened up. And then, obviously, I think there was a second tweet as well that he put out, and it was LSU fans don't want to talk about their secondary because they know what's about to happen. Now, this one I had a tad bit of a different reaction to than the one before. I agreed with the talking point of the previous tweet.
The first one was very civil.
Yes, it was very civil. It was actual sports breakdown and conversation.
This is just the guy being a little sassy.
Yeah.
I don't see the fucking point in that.
Well, yeah, it was. It's a weird. He's wrong. It feels like
Right, like the other one feels very almost like informed, and you actually did your research and looked at what
like, fair point. Is
there, which was at. No, that first one was at 7:50 p.m. last night. This one was at 9:01.
Oh, we got into the liquor.
We've had
it's it's about an hour 10 minutes between tweets. A lot of things can happen.
You know what happened?
His wife said, "Get off Twitter." He said, "Don't tell me what to fucking do."
I think there was probably
You don't know what's coming.
The 4 comments under this probably rubbed him the wrong way. If I had to guess, I can explore more, but for the sake of me having this take,
right?
Somebody pissed him off, and he was like, "Oh, blah blah blah." LSU fans let me know
because this tweet is just completely like the discourse, the way it was struck, like the whole thing. This feels very uninformed.
Or he got hard off the 6,812 views and was like, "Oh, LSU fans are here. Let me pop off again."
Right. Because this one feels much more shock jock than the other. The other one feels like legitimate.
He listed the
sports
guys,
breakdown.
and he's saying this is the facts of the matter. Like then put who you think our starters are at these different defensive positions, and let's see it on paper. And let's have a conversation about it. That's fine.
Let's call it.
We've said the same thing. Like these are the 2 places that we've openly talked about on this show. But why do you got to be such a little high school girl about it?
And this is the thing. Like,
I hope he sees this.
Nobody truly has any idea what the LSU secondary is going to look like besides Blake Baker and the LSU secondary. Like Glimmer for Dead. No one really knows what LSU has except them. That's right. Like, we don't truly know what LSU's going to. Now, you know who they went out and got. Mansour Delane's going to be a starter. A.J. Halsey seems like a dog. Tamarcus Cooley seems like a player. They've got Ashton Stamps, who hopefully takes another leap forward. P.J. Woodland hopefully takes a leap forward. Go down the list. DJ Pickett, obviously the highest ceiling in the country from a defensive back standpoint. I was just very intrigued by I like both of these talking points because it's going to open up conversation for us. But it was just very interesting, the change in tone in just an hour and 10 minutes. And so I'm really interested in what happened in that hour and 10 minutes to change it up.
I mean, I know what would have happened for me.
Yeah, right.
So I can, just projecting, though.
There's no rude comments. They all seem very nice.
Or
civil.
Well, because the first one's there's nothing rude to say about that first tweet. Why? Like, yeah, great. He got some engagement.
Yeah, it's a legitimate breakdown.
Yeah, that's the kind of recon I need.
Right.
I think we wear them down from the Clemson perspective. Our experience is going to shine. And then our own Bryce Kuhn.
What did he say?
This is the single biggest question for LSU, no doubt. I think there's a chance Clemson front could eat them alive. True.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think
it's a legitimate question.
That is the conversation going into the game that I like. That's number one on my list before anything else is can they hold up against this stout defensive line for Clemson? But me and Lloyd will be there witnessing with our own two eyes in the nosebleeds with the other 5,498 of you.
I'll be in the city at least.
There you go. Jacques Doucet put it out yesterday. I'm told the LSU football ticket allotment for the Clemson game is 6,000. However, only 500 of those tickets are in the lower bowl. I don't remember exactly where my seats are. Let me see if I can pull them up even.
Oh, they're doing the old Texas trick.
They did, and that was what I was about to say. This was the
remember
last time I
Jimmy
remember
Burrow
this.
was?
Yes, the last time I remember this being like a talking point around an LSU football road game was Texas, where they went on the road, second game of the year, to an out-of-conference, big-time team, and they stuck everyone up.
They put the band up there.
And they put everyone in the top, the nosebleeds. And you obviously remember what happened on 3rd and 17 in the fourth quarter of that football game. And what Jimmy Burrow did from the nosebleeds, from the top rope.
Gotcha, bitch.
Horns down will forever work. But, yeah, no, I mean, I remember checking where my tickets were that I got. Because I got mine through LSU, obviously. I wanted to check where they were, and it was up in the nosebleeds. I was like, that's all right. That's all right. Because for Clemson, I mean, for USC last season, had pretty good seats, but it's because it was all spread out. There was no, school telling anyone where to sit. This year, not quite the same. So that's why I put out the tweet yesterday. I will be seeing you other 5,498 up in the nosebleeds.
Good.
As we're watching some Clemson LSU. They'll hear us from there, I promise. That first touchdown, screaming from the nosebleeds, is going to feel great. It's been a while since I've sat up that high at a game. Like, I haven't gone to a road game in a minute where I've sat up in the nosebleeds. Because, like I said, USC last season, pretty decent seats. LSU, I've never really sat up in the – I've done the Skyline Club or whatever, which I guess is relatively high. But it's nice to get free food, so it's cool. Mm-hmm. But which obviously
Must be nice.
It's a win for me.
Come to section 301.
There you go.
Row 52. Eat your heart out, Hannibal.
Yeah, where boys become men.
We don't get no food, but we got plenty whiskey.
There you go. And outside of LSU news, NBA news, I know we don't talk it too much, but I feel like this one hits home a little bit. Chris Paul has announced that he will likely retire after the season, and he will be closing it out with the Los Angeles Clippers. He'll be returning to Los Angeles
Why not come to the Pelicans?
end his career. I don't think he wants to. And this was my question. I can't say I blame him.
Seem not much fun.
Would you the Pelicans have to do like a video for like a thank you video to Chris Paul on the Jumbotron, right? Like because I don't feel like New Orleans really hates him that much. Like Anthony Davis and Chris Paul to me are two very different cases. Mm-hmm. I'm not the biggest AD fan because of the way it ended in New Orleans. To me, Chris Paul...
He forced his way out. Chris Paul was getting traded.
Yeah, like it was just... And I feel like the fun that we had... He was like my first ever favorite player outside of LeBron was CP because it was the kid right in New Orleans that was balling. I mean, 2008, 2009 was so much fun.
Yeah, legitimately good.
Yes. And then obviously he ends up in Los Angeles, and he'll be closing it out with the Clippers as he retires. And I just wanted to ask the chat if anyone still has any bad blood between them and CP or any pain that they still hold from Chris Paul, because I would be surprised. I feel like it ended on good terms-ish, as good of terms as possible. But into the two claps for this morning, a little baseball
real
heavy.
quick,
What you got?
Chris Paul or Baron Davis? Baron Davis was electric.
Yeah, but
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. That was the best team.
Baron Davis was awesome to watch,
We've ever
but Chris
had.
Paul is a better basketball player.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith?
Chris Paul. Love J.R. Smith, though.
Yeah,
Street
like
ball,
him more.
Street ball J.R. Smith is...
Chris Anderson?
Okay. too
Birdman?
far. Birdman was awesome.
They had an elite. They were elite
No, I mean, like,
character team.
they had some
Jamal
characters for
Mashburn?
sure.
Oh, man.
They had some
Yeah, that got you.
David West and Tyson Chandler.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was fun.
So many antiquated styles of basketball.
Yes.
Those guys.
I can't believe they...
Those
like,
guys.
That's why CP was who
games
he
of the
was. He
period.
made all of these pieces work because he's a true point guard.
Then Baron
And,
Davis on the Miracle Warriors, led by Don Nelson.
The We Believe.
Yeah, they were a 7 seed that beat the Dallas Mavericks as a 1 seed, and he dunked on, was it Andre Karolinko? No, he was on this team. He dunked on somebody, and then he lifted his shirt up and got a technical, but
Yes.
that was elite. We talking
Awesome.
about crowd pops?
Awesome.
Elite crowd pop.
Yeah, it's a legendary one. All-timer. LSU baseball in the last 5 years has had the
No, it was
most
over Andre Karolinko. Let's
top
go.
5 picks in the MLB draft. And in the last 10 years, LSU has had the most top 3 picks in the MLB draft. And at LSU Baseball Recruit had this to say. They said, the best place to develop, in all caps, and win national championships is Louisiana State University, the best baseball program in the country. And it genuinely is not close. Enjoy your 8 day 1 draft picks or whatever. 3 top 3 picks in 3 years and 2 national championships to show for it. And that's not even where the lore of LSU baseball begins. That's just right now. Like, you go back to the 90s, I mean, they're the cream of the crop. And then right now they're starting their domination here in the 2020s under the tutelage of Jay Johnson, Lloyd's father.
That's right. Not sharing that one.
It's unbelievable the path that LSU is on. No, not you. You are unbelievable as well. The path that LSU is on with Jay Johnson at the helm, it is hard to not be extremely, 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 extremely excited.
Well, because you would think that Paul Bedary, good coach, like gets the 1 national championship,
Right.
goes on gets there, doesn't quite win it as many. Obviously, Jay's already lapped him, but the LSU was good, but not great. Now it feels like if you're a college baseball fan, you're probably going, "Oh God, they're back!"
Yes.
Like the boogeyman that had 6 national championships, and now they've reeled off 2 in 4 years. They're like, "This isn't stopping."
And it's back.
And then this.
Yeah, like it's deja vu for those fans.
You can't even escape to Major League Baseball. You still have to see LSU talent
everywhere. And that brings us right into one of the other 2 claps. The Skenes got a win last night, fellas.
Oh, let's go.
6 shutty innings pitched.
Well, that's
and
par.
The Pirates pulled it out. They won 3-0 over, I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was the Tigers they beat. But it was just nice to see my guy Paul get a W.
Got 3 runs. That's all he needs. He needs 1.
He needs 1 run. That's the thing. Like, he only really needs 1.
And those Tigers are real fucking good.
Well, the Tigers have been on a tear lately. They've got opposite records, basically. The Pirates are obviously 40-61. The Tigers are 60-41. But yeah, Paul is.
That's just what he's got to do. He's just
it
got
was
to
good
give
to
up
see-
0 runs.
That's what he does.
It was good to see Paul get a W. 2 claps for Paul Skenes. Ready. Next up, I've seen a lot of discourse on Twitter about this young
Real
man.
quick, Javi Baez, very smart.
Uh-huh.
Left shoulder flared up. I'm sure he and Skenes, that
Good call.
Javi Baez, wild swings.
Yes.
So, good call. I'll take a day.
I'll rest today.
I'm an all-star.
Who's on the mound? Nah.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
good.
You'd be surprised how much that happens.
I'll take a beat.
Yeah. I'm not going to the
You don't
tape.
need me today. You need me that bad? Just regular season, whatever. We'll be
Numbers are
okay.
good.
Shoulder
We'll be all
blitz.
right. I don't want to drop that average.
I'm not going over 4 strikeouts.
No, I mean, the average, I finally got it back above 300. I'm not doing this again. But one guy on this LSU baseball team that I've seen a lot about on Twitter, Lloyd, and I don't know if you can kind of second this, is Maverick Rizzi. Mm-hmm. Feels like the Maverick Rizzi hype train has begun, and he's one of the names that we don't talk about all that often. Like right now, when you talk about the freshman pitchers from last season, obviously Casey Evans is the headliner. William Schmidt is the golden boy that you hope can go on the growth track, and then the next one is Cooper Williams because you saw him a good bit to close it out. Rizzi, you did not see all that much as the season ended, and so he hasn't been talked about to the same level. But I've seen so many people so high on Rizzi into the offseason this year as he's pitching. Is he in Cape Cod? Mm-hmm.
He's from up there.
Yeah, as he's pitching back home. But I saw Inside LSU Baseball put out some video, and then he said, our guy Jason Armstrong, if I had to pick someone today to make a Cade Anderson-type jump in 2026, it's Maverick Rizzi. Tons of strikes, upper 90s heat, a devastating slider, looks scary good.
To it with a
Might be
comfortable
one of the most
3-1
dominant
lead
arms
over
in the
Chatham.
SEC next year.
Oh,
I mean, look, he's a physically
Separated by
imposing
5 points heading
man
into the day.
on the mound. Like when me and Lloyd have walked past this gentleman in person, it's been, oh my gosh.
yeah, like you would think that there would only be like Chase Shores, like,
Right.
oh, he's massive.
You have a couple of tall guys on the LSU team.
Rizzi is.
It's something. Like he's
Bigger.
big, like not just tall. Like he's
scary.
built. Like he's a imposing gentleman,
And he's pitching well.
and that stuff looks filthy. And so I've seen so many positive things about him this offseason, and this video looks excellent. That is disgusting.
flying.
Like that's paint, brother.
You have to, like, as much has been made about the LSU offseason, I don't think enough people are realizing what they have on the rotation. Like, the rotation, like, you've added 3 left-handed arms, you add another 2 more right-handed pitchers, but if you didn't add anybody, you would
You're
still
in a good
feel
spot.
very good
Yes.
about what you're rolling out there with William Schmidt, you expect to make the next step. Casey Evans, you expect to maybe jump into the starting rotation.
Right.
And then you have Maverick Rizzi could possibly step in there. Now you have
Zach Cowan coming back.
back.
Right.
And it's like you're kind of good there.
Jay Newt coming back. Go down the list of the
Maverick
guys. you have.
Rizzi coming back.
Like Cooper Williams returning. Like,
Yes.
when we talked about it right after the draft ended, before like the Stanfield announcement and all these things started to trickle down, all these moves that were made at the end of last week, we talked about LSU baseball in a really, really good spot going into 26. Before all of those things started, like before you went and got Big York out of Grand Canyon, before you got Caraway from Oregon State, who those 2 moves feel massive for this team, and before you went out and got the biggest pitcher in the portal that you've brought in, and what was it, Moore from Kansas, who could work his way into the starting rotation because he's got the stuff. Like, before you made those moves, we were like, LSU's really poised to make a run in 26, and then Jay says, how about a little of this on top with York, Caraway, Moore, and the moves that he continues to make.
Oh, and Stanfield's coming back.
And Stanfield's got, like,
You return all 3 of your outfielders. You return a ton of guys that have had experience in the pitching department. Like,
and how
you
about
add
one name that we haven't said?
Dardar.
Gavin Guidry
Oh yes.
will be back, wanting to avenge himself as he misses out this year. Be interesting to see the spot that he gets put. I don't think the starting role will float back up as much. I think some people will still talk about it, but I think that stopper role is right there to be had.
Yeah, if you move Casey Evans into your rotation, then Gavin Guidry absolutely has a spot, and I think he would welcome it. It's hard to have such an impact he had as a freshman and then kind of have to watch, and they did it.
Right.
I mean, he was great teammate, great dude.
Yes.
Like, top step, embraced the role of not being able to play.
Yeah, that's tough.
But you know how competitive he is. You've seen it manifest itself on the mound where
No, he's probably foaming at the mouth.
yeah, like he's a bulldog.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the fucking hammer. Like the guy wants to play.
Right, and you can't replicate that.
No.
And that's so good. And, like, in the role that he can be like the lane that he will be put to run in, that is.
I think he embraces. Like I think
Yes.
he likes that.
Yes.
Obviously, everybody wants to start. And Jay's talked about that before, but he embraces the fact that like, look, I get everybody wants to be a starter, but I want you for the most important outs of the baseball game. Like,
Right.
This is more important actually, and that's a great way to spin it. But if you're Gavin Guidry, you're also the psychopath that was smiling ear to ear during
Yes.
the national championship, going, I'm about to close this motherfucker out.
No, I mean, he's on the mound against Florida, and obviously it wasn't a tightly contested ball game.
He would have been doing that if they were up 1.
Right, and he literally has the ball in his glove, and he's going,
This is about to be awesome.
just looking around the stadium, soaking it all in, and then strikes the guy out. Like, exciting stuff when you're talking about LSU baseball going into 2026. And then the last clip in the 2 claps this morning, I felt like this was a young man who made his dad extremely proud. If you watch this clip, if you're the father of this young man, kudos to you because you done taught him right. This is a form tackle if I've ever seen one. Like, I think if this was my son and I was standing on the sideline watching, I'd probably tear up because I'd be like, oh, wow.
The Week's dad moment?
Yeah, like this is like,
That's my boy.
that's my boy. I mean, this is clean. Like, he gets the head, he turns his head away, and shoulder drive through.
Somebody quit that day, and it's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, this poor young man,
Yeah, number 2 just.
I think he lost the ball as well. I mean, this is a form tackle. Like, if that's my kid, I'm like, boy, you're
Oh, fire your guns.
going to make a player out of you, son.
Get that head up. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, he turns the head, he gets the shoulder through, and he drives, lays the guy flat out. And that 2 claps to the father of that young man. Ready? It's all right, Lloyd. But I mean, it's perfect form tackle. If I'm LSU,
We got
I'm
the
just-
14-year-old playing flag football.
that already has the
Give me
offer.
this one.
But this one right here is a sneaky. Like, you need to put a text out to the dad, be like, hey,
What if you're number 2's dad?
Hey, kid got up.
hey,
Fall
Big
down
hit
7
got up.
times, get up 8.
there you go.
You know?
That's what it's all about.
You gonna get hit out there, boy. You
But
got
shout
up
out to
Friday.
that young man's father because you've trained an assassin on the football field with that beautiful form tackle.
How old is he?
I love a good form tackle.
I can't wait for Leonard Fournette's kids to
Oh my
start,
gosh!
like,
stop.
playing.
Stop.
Because
You're gonna fire
they're
me
going to LSU.
up. Yeah.
And they're going to get offered, and they're going to be good.
The University of
That boot, baby.
that boot, baby.
That was one of the more terrifying 2 seconds of my life. I remember where I was watching that.
Yes.
Back when you, like, it meant
Glued
something.
to the television.
That
Sitting there staring.
maybe we
like,
get Kendichi.
sweating.
Yeah, the University of Alabama is what it sounds like you're about to say.
Yeah, when I heard University
University
of,
of.
my
Yeah, that boot, baby.
explosion, like, dude.
Yeah.
God, it was such an awesome moment. It was one of those core memories, especially when on that public platform you'd been hurt before. Like, I mean, Landon Collins was like sitting in the same chair
Yeah.
when he chose Alabama. When his whole family's got like LSU gear on and he chooses Alabama, and it's like, and then to see Leonard do that. But don't forget, every single day we're brought to you by AJ Sports Cards. They've announced, along with Primetime Sports, they have another Card Fest, the Baton Rouge Card Fest in December from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, December 13th. Very similar to the event that we went to at the end of, June, right after Omaha, right after the boys got back from Omaha, and they had some of the players in there to sign autographs. No special guests here, but they will have all the sports cards, the Pokemon cards, the LSU player autographs. So I'm assuming there might be some football guys there. Kids trading area, 150 tables, buy, sell, trade. It's $5 admission. Kids 12 and under get in free. It is at the Elite Training Academy there on Burbank Drive, 5414 Burbank Drive in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you are a vendor looking to get involved, call AJ Sports Cards as they're putting this awesome event together again. Last time, like we said, we stopped by, and it was awesome. It looked cool. It was so many more vendors than I expected, and they have some really, really good products, really, really cool merchandise and collectibles. So make sure on December 13th you mark your calendar to head over to Elite Training Academy there on Burbank Drive to check out what AJ Sports Cards has for you. But back to the LSU football conversation. Let's pull up these tweets from the Locked On Clemson host again and get a real look at them, because this is what I want to discuss before we get Glenn West here, obviously to talk more LSU football recap, some SEC media days, talk about fall camp, which is on the way. I believe right now the players, the guys are getting a little bit of a break to get ready for fall camp, a tad bit of a vacation. We will have some LSU players in here this week to talk to before fall camp gets kicked off. Keelan Moses will join us tomorrow after the show, so it'll get put out on Thursday.
And we will do it right.
And we'll do it right. And then we'll have Cohen Eccles in here on Saturday. It'll go out next Monday. So we'll have these guys in to interview. We'll get it recorded. We'll get it put out to you guys. Working with these guys' schedules to make it happen. 7 to 9 a.m. is a tad bit bright and early.
Well, they got
Young men. They've got workouts.
They got
stuff.
bars to bend.
Yep. And so we'll have those guys in here to preview the season this week. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you make sure you know when it all gets put out. But those tweets from the host of Locked On Clemson obviously start with the offensive lineman.
How does he know the offensive line?
I mean, I think this is the
Consensus?
The most likely. I think right now, if you're looking at it, this is what most people would assume it'll be. It'll be interesting to see if Thompson stays at guard or if he becomes a right tackle. But right now, I think this is what the consensus is. I think Tyree Adams has left tackle locked up. That's why you brought him here. He was a 4-star out of St. Aug. He's a mountain of a man. He was the number 2 O-lineman. I don't know if it was in the country, but definitely in the state behind Lance Hurd in the same recruiting class. Lance obviously leaves. You hold on to Tyree Adams, and he will be, I believe, the left tackle. DJ Moore, I think, has the center position locked up. And I think DJ Chester and Josh Thompson are both on the starting line. I just don't know exactly what position they'll be. And then, obviously, the right tackle spot is the one that's circled. But it seems like Weston Davis has the lead on it right now. But this is the conversation. This is where, when you talk about this game, this is where it starts. As much as it's Klubnik versus Nussmeier, it's these receivers versus the Clemson DBs, it's Whit Weeks and Harold Perkins and all these different pieces, the conversation really lies on this Clemson defensive line who has countless NFL talent. Like, the draft prospects on this Clemson defensive line are extremely impressive. Like I said, what's his name? Todd McShay was talking about on his show yesterday. And you made a comment about him being Clemson out, because they were. I think they do that anytime they have a structured segment about a team, is they pop some team gear on.
That's what I was wondering. It's a bit of I like Todd McShay, so I don't want to say anything uncouth, but a bit of a try-hard move.
Right? I mean, yeah,
But the hat's elite.
It's a great hat. But, I feel like just from a credibility standpoint, I guess Todd McShay has kind of escaped that aspect of the credibility conversation. You don't always want to just, pop on the same gear of the team you're talking about. But
He could just really love gear.
He could.
He definitely.
And it's just,
it's a great hat.
Send me some top-end gear.
And I'll talk about your little
I'll
football
talk about
team.
your little football team. But,
Win-win.
Poppy likes to get dressed up.
But the hat is cool.
It's a great hat. It's a great hat. So if you didn't see it, go check out Todd McShay's breakdown as he talked about.
Yeah, there's a 50-minute show all on Clemson. So
yes.
I guess that warrants a hat.
Yes. No, it makes sense. And but they've got TJ Parker, who is a defensive end, one of the top DNs in the draft, projected to be a first-round selection. Peter Woods, I think one of the top D linemen in the draft. And so that's 2 on the defensive line right there. And then they've obviously got some other talented guys on the team. Another D tackle in DeMonte Capehart on that line, where it is just proven, experienced, top-end talent from a defensive line standpoint for Clemson. There is talent on this offensive line for LSU. You cannot deny that, and the tweet doesn't even try to. It's addressed. This is a talented group that LSU has on the offensive line. They're just not experienced. Thompson and Moore have not played in the SEC, coming from the Big Ten and what's Virginia Tech in the ACC. And then you've got Tyree Adams, only 2 starts. You've got DJ Chester, who has the most experience
Which is
from
terrifying.
an SEC standpoint on this line, which can be scary. When just last season, he was the most inexperienced offensive lineman on LSU's roster. But I do think him shifting from center to guard will alleviate some of the mental pressure that was put on him. And I think that's part of the reason why you went out and you got Braylon Moore, was to take some pressure off of Garrett Nussmeier, but also put Chester in a position that is much more comfortable for him. And then Weston Davis is a guy that is going to be, I think, probably a redshirt freshman. Was a 5-star coming out of high school. He's extremely talented. If you haven't seen his basketball film, that's equally as impressive as his football film. So he's an athlete. He's an impressive player, but they just don't have the experience. And so it really comes down for LSU to, is it going to be a case of getting it figured out kind of on the fly against a really good defensive line, or can they step up to the call and say, you know what, we're ready, we're here, we're going to go impress against this extremely talented defensive line for Clemson? And so I don't know exactly how the LSU offense will be structured around that. It'll be interesting to see if it's just straight up, hey, we trust our 5 against your D-line to make it happen. We're not going to change our scheme to address that. But do you think that the offense will be more run-heavy or something a little different to maybe try to hide that blemish, to not put Nussmeier in as many 5-step drops where you have to have these young guys step up and battle against Peter Woods and these other guys on this Clemson defensive line, TJ Parker as well. Like, TJ Parker at D end is likely going to be matched up against Tyree Adams, 2 starts, Weston Davis, maybe 1 in the bowl game, but I don't think he did, because I think Miles Frazier started at right tackle. So a redshirt freshman and a redshirt sophomore, one of those two will be facing up against TJ Parker, and then Peter Woods at 6'3", 315 in the interior of that defensive line will be lined up across Braylon Moore, Josh Thompson, DJ Chester, however it ends up shaking out, just using those 5 as the example right now because of what was on the tweet for the sake of that argument. Lloyd, do you think that the offensive scheme will shift at all to maybe try to hide that blemish or cover it up? Or do you think it's going to be a case of, hey, we've got 5 really talented offensive linemen, we trust them, we know that's a talented defensive line, but go make it happen?
At some point, one will win out over the other, right? If LSU, I would imagine you're going to try to – which would you do first? Do you try to go out with your best 5 and say, let's block
Straight
it up?
I say you go straight up first.
That becomes – you have Nussmeier, who is – what's his biggest bugaboo? Turns the football over,
right,
forces some throws, especially when he gets pressure.
Right.
And now you start off where you go 3 and out twice, or maybe an unseemly turnover, and then you try to adjust, and you're down 10-0, 14-0, and now you're trying to go, where's Bauer Sharp? Where's, hey, Bordelon come in and play extra tight end,
right,
left tackle? Now you don't have as many weapons, because at some point, how much speed can you put on the field versus how much do you need to block it up?
Right.
And that's where you lose kind of your edge. Because LSU, I would say, is more talented on the outside with, name it.
Yes.
Chris Hilton, Barry Brown, Aaron Anderson, Xavier Thomas. We say all of these
Nick
names.
Anderson, go down the list.
With the intent of them all playing maybe at some point or another,
right,
or at the same time. But at some point, if you're not able to block it up front against a very skilled and very highly touted, like McShay put it as, this isn't, they're not overhyped.
No, I mean,
certainly, even for the NFL draft, I would say they're where they should be in terms of where they're projected to go. He's like,
right,
we're just talking about college? Yes. One of the best
very good
defensive fronts in the country.
Yes.
And it goes against a very inexperienced LSU offensive line. At some point, one has to give. If you're LSU, do you go into that with your plan of being, hey, let's go 2 tight end sets, Bauer Sharp, Bo Bordelon, and you start to sacrifice a little bit of what makes you good to be able to protect your quarterback? Or you can also game plan it a different way where you get the ball out quick and you kind of nullify them with your ability to use speed. And it's short throws, it's out quick,
right,
it's Aaron Anderson, it's Xavier Thomas,
get them
and
on
everybody,
their heels.
yes,
right,
and you go fast, tempo, then it's Durham, and it's like, oh my screen, and it's whoa, God.
Well, because if you can get them on their heels where they're maybe not comfortable, hand in the dirt, ears pinned back, ready to go, and they're on their heels a little bit, and they're getting sped up, and you're dumping it off to Barry and Brown, who's getting you 7 real quick, and then you can hand it off to Caden Durham on a quick tempo, snap. Like, get them on their heels, get them uncomfortable.
And you want to get that's where also you talk about inexperience. It's as much as you probably don't want to admit. Also, Sloan, this is where you need to have experienced offensive play calling at this point, and you saw what if Brian Kelly is as checked in as he says, then you might have a different version of a game plan that you saw against, kind of the latter half of the year of being able to run not so much tempo, but more so ball control, be able to eat up some clock, give your defense a break. Now it becomes, which one do you pick? Because that will dictate how this game goes.
Yeah, I think that first 15 script is going to tell you.
It's very hard to not want it to be fun.
It's going to tell you so much about what that game's going to look like. Whether you go out there and you say, hey, we're going to be who we are, forget the guys in the other jerseys. We're going to be who LSU is. And if that fails, then it's okay, reset, how do we address this? Or it doesn't fail and you get to be free and be LSU. Or if the first 15 is a structure of like, hey, this is who we're playing, this is how we're going to attack them specifically, and then see what happens. It is going to be a lot of eyes on that front 5 for LSU, but also, like Lloyd said, the play calling and the way that it's structured. And I think that it's going to be really interesting to see the way they attack that defensive front for Clemson, because you want to keep them on their toes. You do not want them to be comfortable and applying pressure consistently to Garrett Nussmeier. And I think the biggest thing that I'm interested to see from the offensive line for LSU is the ability to run block. Like, is this going to be an offensive line that's been built and put in a position to run block for this offense? Because I think that was the biggest shift for the offensive line last season, was they had just spent 2 years run blocking for an offense that had Jaden Daniels at quarterback, and then all of a sudden you're running similar plays, that same zone read, but you don't have Jaden Daniels back there, so it's played a little differently from a defensive standpoint. And so the offensive line, in my opinion, had some struggles adjusting to blocking for Garrett Nussmeier rather than Jaden Daniels. Well, now this line, to me, should be in a better position to run block for this offense, where you know who the quarterback is. There's no discussion. He was the same quarterback last year. All of these things should be prepared and ready to go for game number 1. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how the run game looks early in that football game against Clemson, because if it does fail and if it doesn't look as good or as clean as maybe you're hoping, will they stick with it? Or will it become, hey, we're falling on Nussmeier's shoulders again, go throw it 50 times? Because that's the last thing you want to happen, where it's so predictable that he's dropping back to throw it that T.J. Parker and Peter Woods and these other guys on this Clemson defensive line can pin their ears back and say, hey, we're going to get number 13 in white. That's what you don't want to happen.
I think that there's enough diverse talent on the offense to where you can really come at it 4 different ways, right? I mean, you can get the ball out quick, right? To your guys, they're speedy across the middle. You can have your big guys do hitch, quick turnaround routes, get it out to those big bodies. Or you can bring in the extra tight ends. You can bring in Bordelon. You can use Caleb Jackson, try to maybe run a little bit of power, come up their teeth, or hit them with the lightning with Caden Durham.
You have options.
Like you can do 4 different styles of offense against these guys. Are we going to pick the right one right away? That's a huge question. But the talent's there to be able to impose several different types of effective offense, right? It's not like they've built it to where you have the option to do whatever you want. It's just...
And that's why this week 1 matchup is almost... That's what makes it so tricky, right? Is because you have an elite defensive line against a very new offensive line, and you have all of these tools that have never played together, and you've had no spring game. Like, you really don't know what you have, so you have to rely a little bit on your defense to be able to help you. Like, it's like almost a boxing match.
The downside of it could be that you almost have so many options that did you not focus enough on one, and, but... I'm choosing to be positive and
I like
look at it as it's a team that really can do a bunch of stuff. And
Right.
I trust, the majority of the staff to, I think, have a pretty good idea coming in and then be able to pivot, within a
Because-
drive or two before it gets too out of
too
hand.
far away from you, because that's where it falls, right? Is it becomes, by everybody's opinion, and everybody agrees LSU has the talent. So now it falls directly squarely on the coaching staff.
Right.
And if it's a game plan that does not look like it has a plan, then they said in the chat that it comes down to, now you're looking at Brad Davis, now you're looking at Sloan, and ultimately you're looking at Brian Kelly if it comes out and it's not. Because I think people expect this to be elite.
Yes.
And but I expect it to be a little bit of little junky at
Learning
the beginning,
curve?
a little janky, yeah, because it's so many tools, like you said, that it's almost hard to pick which direction do we
Right.
want to go. That's on the staff, but you have to give them a clear plan in place to be able to execute, and that's where you have to wonder what it'll look like, because we went through the schedule yesterday, and if you start off 0-1, there's very much 3-3 looking you in the face.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's...
But I think once they figure it out, it's going to be a team that at the end of the year
Right.
could go for
Yes.
6-0, could make
Yes.
a run. But I think there's so much expectation placed on week one because of the way that it started, because of Brian Kelly's tenure and how you haven't won one, and now it just feels like the worst possible matchup
Right.
for LSU in this particular spot.
Boy, and it really does feel like a lot of that pressure is going to end up falling on the defense. Like you're really going to put pressure on this defense to be like, hey, while the offense gets it figured out against Clemson's defense, who could be the best in the country, we got to make sure y'all put zeros up on that
too.
board too. Like, it's LSU baseball. It's, hey, Cade and Anthony, while the offense is going through this slump, y'all got to make sure y'all get 10 Ks and sit these guys down, put zeros up on the scoreboard. Like, this LSU defense is going to have, in my opinion, a lot of pressure quick. Like, hey, while the offense is going through the learning curve, like Lloyd said, because I agree, I think there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. There's so many weapons, so many new faces, guys that haven't played together that aren't really going to have a true test until August 30th in the fake Death Valley against Clemson. That's going to be the first real test. So I do think that there will be a tad bit of a learning curve. But I think you can get that figured out in the game. And it's going to be on the staff to do
But
that.
That's where you talk about the
And
defense
it comes
being
down to
able
defense.
to. You don't want to be
Hold
17-0.
the rope.
Yes.
Do not put LSU in the position of 17-0 like South Carolina last season. Or go like 6-0. Yeah, hold them to 3. Put zeros up on the board. Do your job the first 3 drives of the game.
Yeah,
to where
bend don't break the first
Right.
quarter and a half.
give your offensive
We can
time.
work with
Hold
that.
the rope.
What you can look at, even go as far back as the USC game, to where your defense did. You were 10-10 after your defense was one of the worst LSU defenses of all time.
One of the worst defenses.
And then
in
you
general.
go up against say what you will,
Lincoln Riley.
he's an elite offensive coordinator, elite offensive mind.
Yes.
And Blake Baker pulled out all the did everything he could in the first half, and it became, you're not talented enough.
Yeah.
Like you ran out of tools. But if you're able to hold them to 10 in the first half, you feel very good about where LSU is, because I do think that people are looking at LSU through the lens of 2 Heisman winners, both at quarterback, offense, whenever Blake Baker's quietly put together a very good defense last year, considering what you had the year before, and now you've only added more tools to the chest, and now you have depth and pieces and a coach that cares.
Yeah.
And so I do expect the defense to take a massive leap from 120 to 50 to top 25.
One, I think this offense has had enough, and CVO said this should be a field day for Nuss and the experienced receivers. They've had time to figure out their strengths and weaknesses. I agree. I think that they've figured those things out, but there's still things that you need to get figured out on the football field against a different opponent. And so that's why I don't think it'll take long for them to get straight, but you want to have those things. You want to have the defense in place to make sure you can, in 2 drives, kind of figure it out and kind of roll with it. And to me, I think Clemson's probably having similar conversations. Like, as much as they're maybe not as mixed match and new face as LSU is, they still have to get it figured out as well. Like, this is still going to be their first time facing an opponent in a different colored uniform, and their first time putting the cleats on and the helmet on for the 2025 season. So,
and they're going to have to make the right decision at how to come at us. I mean, for this, the same conversation we're having, we're so deep, and there are enough things for them to be concerned about that they're going to have to consider and cover. That's kind of the one benefit of having all this new stuff,
right?
Is that they don't exactly know what we're going to be throwing at them either. So the same thing that is a negative can be seen as a positive, assuming we utilize this talent.
Yes,
we think we should.
100%.
So, it's trying not to get too negative about, they've got more established talent, blah, blah, blah. And instead it's, hey, they don't quite know what we are either. So
right. Yeah. So those adjustments need to be made early on, but I'm excited to see those two teams strap on the uniforms and get to work.
It's either going to be
so
fun or so.
Oh, I think it's going to be moments of
emotionally
very much high stress.
Yes.
And it's just, when you think about it, it's like it's such a, we just did this.
Right.
But I felt very confident about where LSU baseball was and how they were going to perform. This I haven't seen yet.
Right.
But just the feeling, the angst of football is such a different beast because it's anger.
Yeah. So we will take a quick break here. As we're rolling into hour number 2 this morning, we'll take a break. We'll get Glenn West set up to talk some LSU football this morning, and we'll be right back with the senior writer from 247 Sports.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or a storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing. Built on trust, backed by quality.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Branding at Go Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
All right, welcome back here. Hour number 2 underway here on this Tuesday morning. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you're ready for some of the fun stuff we've got coming up outside of the show very, very soon. We are joined by one of our favorites. Guy's been crushing it over at 247 and has been doing a heck of a job every time he's come on the show the last couple of weeks. Our guy, Glenn West, senior writer from 247 Sports. Glenn, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
We'll get it started. Obviously, media days last week. LSU took the podium early on Monday. They led off the SEC media days. And I want to get started. First question on Brian Kelly and the 1-0 comments. What was your reaction, your takeaways from BK on the podium on last Monday? But that 1-0 comment specifically and kind of the stress and the emphasis that this LSU football program is putting on that first game.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's been 5-6 years now since LSU's won one of those openers, and they really have not shown up, to play ball the last couple, and so I think for LSU, what's really important here is that they devote their time, their energy, their effort into making sure that they don't get caught off guard in this game. And I think probably the biggest thing for me is, Clemson is probably the most talented team that LSU's faced during this run of, week 1 losses that they've had. Don't beat yourself. Like, that's the thing that I think LSU's going to have to really avoid in this game. Is just not beating themselves. If Clemson's the better team and they're going to beat you, then they're just the better team and they're going to beat you. But the thing that's really cropped up on LSU the last couple of years, and why you saw Brian Kelly going viral last year for banging his fists on the table after the USC game, is LSU just made a lot of self-inflicted mistakes in that game. And so I think really the attention to detail and the focus for this year has just got to be focused on being fundamentally sound, being ready, being prepared to handle that atmosphere. This is going to be the first true road environment that LSU's played in during those week one stretches there. So that's going to make it really tough as well. But they've got to win this game. Like we're past the point of no return in terms of just LSU, dropping the opener and not playing up to the potential and the standards that the program has shown to be here over the last 2 decades. So they've got to get this fixed. I like the approach. I like the fact that they are really devoting a lot of time and energy into this game, and we'll see what that looks like and how efficient they can be on August 30th. But there's a lot of time between now and then where they're going to have to put in a lot of really good work.
Glenn, were you surprised to kind of hear him put so much emphasis on week one, whatever? It feels like that's something that should have been emphasized for the last 3 years, and now he really has Brian Kelly has gone out of his way to make sure that people know, because he said, I believe the quote was like, I'm not usually an all-in guy week one, and now he's very much going all in. Are you surprised that he's not maybe catching a little bit more heat for his lack of preparation, you can say, because he said it the first, 3 years?
Yeah, look, I think that's a good point to make, but I think they have taken it to another level. I mean, even yesterday there was a photo that I think I saw Kelvin Bolden, post on his social media account, where even when you walk into the football ops facility, right there to the right, they've got a big screen with, I think, the flight details of Clemson on it. Like they weren't doing that stuff in previous years. Like they've really kind of upped the ante here in terms of just their devotion to understanding how important that first game is. And so I get what you're saying there. I don't know that that they had the pieces in place the last couple of years to be able to win those kinds of games or to be able to beat a Clemson on the road. They feel like they have the defense. They feel like they have the roster and the players to go into Clemson and win that game. And so I think it's good that they're really fully leaning into this thing. And like I said, though, they've got a lot of work to do and some major question marks to answer, I think, between now and that first game.
And to me, and I talked about it a little bit last week, it feels like this first game for LSU against Clemson, when you compare it on paper to the last three, like you said, this is the most talented roster they'll be facing. That makes it feel almost like it would be the most acceptable loss out of the first four games. Florida State, USC, and now Clemson, where it's the most talented roster you face. They'll likely be a top 5, maybe top 3 team in the country, and you're traveling to their home field. So it feels like on paper it would be the most acceptable out of those 4, but the fact that LSU has lost the previous 3 has almost taken away that stock or that ability to say it's acceptable.
Yeah, there's no acceptable losses, I think, for LSU this year. Like this is a team that was built to beat every team that's on its schedule. They feel very confident in that. And I just, being around the team in the spring, and you guys were as well, but you can just see the talent level is a little bit different than it has been in years prior. And I think that when you hear Garrett Nussmeier talking about also how close the guys are and how connected a ship this has been really since they reconvened in February and March, I think that there's a lot of confidence going into this year that they can be the team that can win these types of games. And so a loss at Clemson is not going to be the end-all be-all to your schedule. It would be another really disappointing start to a season, and one that I think would catch a lot of heat for Brian Kelly haters. But I think that they also have the group and the roster to be able to bounce back from that. And it's just about how many losses though does that how much wiggle room do you have left over after that Clemson loss? And it would be very little. And you'd have to be a really pristine, almost perfect team the rest of the way to be able to get to have your season-long goals that this team obviously has. So the Clemson game is going to be a major mile marker, I think, in the Brian Kelly era. I've been saying it for months now, and what the result of that game is going to really, I think, tell us a lot about where this team's going and where the long-term future of the program's going.
And then, obviously, Brian Kelly brought his starting quarterback with him, Garrett Nussmeier, 2 media days last week. I want to get your thoughts on some of the things Nussmeier had to say, but also he was, I guess you could say, and I would go to say he was snubbed. He should have been all-SEC first-team quarterback, and he ends up getting all-SEC second team. So your thoughts on him not getting the nod as a first-team QB and some of the things that Nussmeier said at media days last week?
Yeah, I don't put a whole ton of stock into the first team or the preseason, the all-SEC preseason, pecking order of where teams are. I believe that I think I heard this on another show, that there were 1,100 credentialed media and only, I think, 200 of them voted on these things and, or I guess on these all-SEC teams in the preseason. And so, it's just a very small sample size of the actual media that was credentialed to go to media days. I didn't cast a ballot, just to be completely honest with you guys. Like, I was busy writing a bunch of stuff and trying to catch up on work and things of that nature. But I think, look, I guess you can say that it could be added fuel for a guy like Nussmeier. I just don't think that's his personality. I don't think that's something that he really pays attention to all that much. I mean, I think he understands that the individual goals that he has will come through team success, and the pieces that LSU has put around him this offseason, I think, have really opened his eyes to the potential of this offense. And certainly when you get into the red zone and the third down situations that maybe LSU was a little bit more inefficient with last year, having guys like Barian Brown, like Nick Anderson, like a second year of Trades Green, Bauer Sharp, another year of development with Aaron Anderson, Chris Hilton back and healthy. Like, this is a really legit loaded group of skills players around Nussmeier, guys he's going to be able to get the ball out to quickly, when things maybe aren't there. We've heard him talk a lot about his off-season devotion to his body and putting in a lot of work to getting ready to take off with his legs a little bit more. I'm not saying he's going to run for 700, 800 yards, but if he can go get 3, 4, 5 yards here and there, move the chains when needed with his legs, then that's something that I think defenses are going to have to respect, and it's going to make this offense even more difficult to plan for. So I think there's a lot going for him this year and this offense, that he doesn't really need any added fuel to the fire to really be the best version of himself in 2025.
Glenn, and I've been, available to vote for things, and I haven't done it either, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I want to take it one step further to say, if it's not us voting for all SEC, would you take it a step further and say maybe take away the polls, like the actual polls altogether, in terms of where you're ranked in the preseason? Because I do think that does kind of cast an aspersion against certain teams, or give certain teams, if you're put up higher, a bit more of an opportunity to make the college football playoff whenever because people don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question. I think probably the thing that I would say to that is just it's just another way to really kind of build up preseason hype around a lot of programs, or just kind of a lot of talking points going into the season. I mean, case in point, we're
doing it right now.
We're talking about right now, going into fall camp. So, like I said, I think it's really just for the talking heads and for fans to maybe talk a little bit about. But I just don't think programs in the conference or around the country are really thinking, oh my God, they put Missouri 12th. What are they thinking? They have LSU 4th out of 12 out of 16 teams in the SEC. Like, that's not right. Like, I just don't think that these coaches and these players and these programs are really putting a whole lot of stock into that. So I personally wouldn't be, I'd be okay if you just got rid of it, but it's also given us more content to talk about here going into fall camp, so can't complain about that either.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
And like you said, fall camp obviously on the way. What do you expect the vibe and the energy to be like when LSU hits the Ponderosa and gets ready for their fall camp practices ahead of August 30th?
Yeah, I mean, very energetic. I would expect this group to be very dialed in and focused. But look, I mentioned that there were some questions that I have going into this thing. I think you have to start with the offensive line and just what the development this summer has looked like for those guys. Now that you've got Josh Thompson and you've got Braylon Moore, all these guys that have now had 5-6 months with the program, and even those freshmen, Karius Kern was a guy that I asked Nussmeier about at media days, and he said that the dude is just an absolute wrecking ball of an offensive lineman. And so I think there's going to be a lot of decisions that are going to have to be made over the next 6 weeks that for this offensive line to really kind of get going and be the group that can handle a defensive line like Clemson. I mean, that's not an easy first game for this group that's replacing 4 or 5 starters to go up against a veteran defensive line that Clemson has, guys that have played together for several years now. That's going to be a huge wake up call, a big test for those guys. And so I think if LSU can have a serviceable, first game on the offensive line against Clemson, where Nussmeier is not being pressured every single time, or they're able to open up a few running lanes. Then I think that really opens up a lot of different things LSU can do in that first game against Clemson. But getting to that point is going to be really interesting, and what those guys look like is going to be very interesting for me going into the first few weeks of fall camp that we're able to watch.
If you have to pick right now, what side of the ball do you think will LSU's strength lie? Do you think it'll be offensive or defensive?
That's a great question. I would probably still lean offense, just because I think the skills position players and Nussmeier and Durham back for a second year. Caleb Jackson has apparently shaved 10 to 15 pounds this summer and is looking a little bit more fluid, a little bit more quick twitchy that we saw in his freshman year. I just think that the offense has everything set up to be one of the best in the country. But that's not to take away from the defense, because I do think the defense is going to be vastly improved. Go from a top 60 group to maybe a top 30, hopefully a top 25 kind of defense in terms of scoring, and get some more aggressive playmaking there with guys in the secondary like Monster DeLane and AJ Halsey, and then up front with guys like Bernard Gooden and certainly Patrick Payton, Jack Pyburn, Jamari Butler, all those guys coming in to really put some pressure on opposing defenses and opposing offenses and their quarterbacks. I think that this is just going to be an all-around, well-rounded team. But if you're having me pick between the two, Lloyd, I would probably lean on offense over defense, but just by a little bit, which is something that I don't think you could have said in previous years.
And then one question I have, kind of, I guess you could say off the field, is this team, they've put out a lot of content, social media-wise, the program has, of the guys in the weight room, and obviously the Freak of the Week videos and the practices where they're out in Tiger Stadium when the sun's rising, all these things. Does it feel like, from a physical standpoint and maybe even a health standpoint, where the program has taken another leap? Where
feels like they're marketing it as if they're going to be very good.
Right, they're this physical, strong, in shape. Does it feel different than seasons of past?
Yeah, I don't know that I'd go that far. I think, LSU's place is always going to bring in really gifted athletes and really talented players. I think just the shift that you're seeing, though, is just the length and the size of these guys combined with the speed. I think that they have some of that for sure. I mean, Chris Hilton was telling us that 4 guys have run over 23 miles per hour at wide receiver this offseason, and that's ridiculously insane. They've got that kind of speed and that kind of talent from an athletic perspective. But it's just going to be really about just how do these guys come together more than anything and gel. And I think Nussmeier has done a really good job of kind of beating that drum this offseason about how close this team has gotten, and we'll see how that reflects. But from a physical standpoint, I think LSU is always going to be one of those premier teams that's going to bring in the best athletes. It's just just about can they bring in the best football players. And I think that they have a lot of really talented football players to go along with really talented athletes. That's really going to show itself this season.
And if you, before we get to see anything, obviously, if you had to pick, who would you say? I'll give you one on each side, but most impactful either transfer portal player or freshman, most impactful fresh face this year.
Yeah, so I guess freshman. I mean, whether it's week 1 or week 3 or week 6, like I think the best version of this LSU defense is going to include DJ Pickett at corner, like one of the cornerback spots. Like I think he's that talented. I think he was really kind of delegated, or I guess relegated, I would say, to the second team for most of spring. But every time that LSU put one of its best players against him, or one of their best offensive players against him, Pickett really responded well. And I thought had a really nice spring, in 1-on-1s, 7-on-7s, 11-on-11 work even with the second team. I thought he really showed himself to be one of the more consistent movers and coverage guys down the field at cornerback. And I think this fall you're going to see him get a lot of first-team opportunities in camp and potentially try to steal one of those spots from an Ashton Stamps or a Monster DeLane or Jakeem Jackson, one of those guys. Somebody's going to have to be phased out of that rotation if Pickett's going to be in there. So I think he's somebody that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on. LSU worked very, very, very hard to get him a part of that class last December, and I think they did so knowing that he could be a real impact player right from the jump. And so and then, on the offensive side, I'd probably lean one of the linemen. Like I think Thompson and Kern, or Thompson and Braylon Moore are both going to play a lot early in the season. But they were also kind of on that second team, kind of looking in for a majority of the spring, which is not to be unexpected. LSU's done that kind of stuff in the past with new transfers that are just kind of learning the system, learning the program. But I think Moore, Thompson, those guys are going to be staples of your interior on the offensive line. I think DJ Chester is going to play a big role in that as well. So those are kind of the guys that I would say have the quickest path to playing time, and guys that I think are going to be really impactful for this offense and defense.
Lloyd asked you the question obviously earlier about the offense versus the defense. I want to ask you about the third phase of the game, which has obviously been a talking point throughout Brian Kelly's tenure at LSU. What are your thoughts on the special teams unit for LSU? Because really it feels like it could now be turning the corner of a talking point in a positive manner, as it was in a negative manner earlier in his tenure, where now you have, I think they had Berrien Brown was an all-SEC return specialist. Davion Thomas was third-team all-SEC return specialist. You've obviously got Aaron Anderson back there, who went back for one kick last year and housed it. And you've got Damian Ramos and Aaron Burrell, who have been consistent as the kickers and the kickoff specialists. And then you bring in a guy like Chadwick to punt. What are some of your thoughts on the special teams unit heading into 2025?
Yeah, I think at this point, what you kind of have with, a guy like Ramos. He's not going to be a guy I think you go out there and ask to kick 55-yard field goals pretty consistently, but he is a very consistent, kind of guy in that 35 to 45 range. And I think that, if they need him, that he can go in and make those kicks in high pressure situations. So I think that's good to have and good to know. Burrell's going to be your kickoff guy. He'll boot it, through the end zone almost every time, like he did last year. So I think you've got real, special power there with him. And then Chadwick is probably the guy that I'm most interested to see, because LSU lost Peyton Todd, and he's gone to, I believe it's Southeastern. He's gone right down the road now, and he's enrolled elsewhere. So they got all their eggs now in the Chadwick basket. And the springtime, there were some good moments, but also some moments. Yeah, there were some moments where he certainly needed to be a little bit more consistent. So I would say the punting is probably the biggest concern right now that I have out of those two groups. But the return group, like you said, is going to be really electric, and I think something that we haven't seen as much of from LSU in recent years. I think Thomas is going to be an excellent punt returner. I think he can stick both Berrien Brown and Aaron Anderson back there on kickoffs and be okay with either one of them returning the kick. So I think that they have a real the special teams are a way that you can really flip the momentum of the game or change your fortune. And I think that there will be a couple opportunities this year for those guys to really be explosive and change the field, maybe house a couple, like you said. But that's going to be probably the most improved group, I would imagine, out of the special teams is the return game.
Do you think that there's a world in which you see maybe 2 kickers, where it's Aaron Burrell for the longer field goals because he has a tremendous, like the leg strength is obviously, and it's incredible. And then you obviously, it feels like Danny Ramos, anytime it's 45 and in, he's kind of money. But if you have one of these 53, because you've seen Brian Kelly kind of avoid it by going for it, but if you trust Burrell enough to be able to maybe kick a 55-yarder, do you think that's a world in which LSU could live?
Yeah, I think it would probably have to be a pretty extreme case, where LSU is, either way ahead and just want to try something out, or maybe it's a really tight game and they have no other choice but to kick a 55 or a 60-yard field goal or whatever it is. But look, I think Burrell is a guy that's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, but we still need to see him hone in that consistency element of his game from a pure field goal kicking perspective. So I could see a situation, like I said, in an extreme where you want to just trot him out there and see if he can hit one of those big long 50-plus yarders. But I think in most cases, though, you're going to see LSU probably, if it's a 4th and short, I would imagine you see the offense stay out in that situation and try to move the ball a little bit further down the field before settling for a field goal with a guy like Ramos. So, and they did that a lot last year too. Like that was not something that was foreign or anything. They definitely went for it on their fair share of 4th downs last year, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. And this year you brought in a lot of these new pieces to kind of be more efficient in that respect as well, and being able to continuously move the offense to a point where you don't need Ramos, or you don't need Burrell to be a really good offense.
Last one, I just want your overarching takeaways from media days from an LSU perspective. What was the temperature or the thoughts around the program heading into 2025 from obviously what you got from Kelly and the players that came with him, other media members that cover LSU, other media members that cover other programs, or maybe even players and coaches from other programs? What were the overarching takeaways around LSU at media days?
Yeah, they were definitely talking the talk. They were one of the programs that was very blatantly putting out all their goals and all their aspirations for this year and how aggressive they're going to be. And I think that they truly believe that this is going to be a team that can compete at the top of the top in the conference. And as a result, that's going to be a playoff team. That's going to be a team that you could potentially see competing for a championship and winning a few rounds in the playoffs. So, I think that, all those things are something that they've embraced and that they've leaned into, that they've created. They have talked about this really going back to spring, that their season-long goals are, to compete at the top and to be the best. And so, that kind of feeds into the narrative that has kind of followed this team right now, which is, they expect to be one of the better ones in the conference, and they certainly talked like that in that Monday session. It's kind of to lead things off. I thought that they did a good job of conveying their message of what they want the season to be and what isn't acceptable. And so we'll see. This is one of the more difficult schedules that I think you're going to find in the country this year. That not only just the Clemson game, but that 3-game stretch there over the next month with, you got Florida, at home, you got, a road game at Ole Miss, and then you've got South Carolina at home. Those are, 3 really, really solid programs that have good quarterbacks, and certainly in South Carolina and Florida's case, 2 of the premier quarterbacks in the conference. And so you're going to have to be ready for those guys too, to really kind of, if you win that Clemson game, carry that momentum forward, or if you lose that Clemson game, you'll gain that momentum back to where you can be one of those teams that's more feared in the conference going forward. So I think the LSU did all the right things at media days and said all the right things, and now it's just about going out and doing the right things on the field on August 30th.
Well, we appreciate your time this morning, Glenn. What do you have coming up over at 24/7?
Yeah, more fall camp, off-season talk. We're kind of in the final days here before we get started with fall camp, and just lots of preview pieces, lots of recruiting intel. Basketball is in the middle of their summer workouts right now. I'm hearing a lot of good things about the early days of Matt McMahon and what this fourth season is going to be about for him. So we got plenty of stuff to come hang out with us on our message boards and things of that nature. So I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, and see you on the Ponderosa soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
All right. Yep. Have a good one. There he is, Glenn West from 24/7 Sports. Great insight as always. Great information. And excited to get out to fall camp. Cannot wait the days. We don't have the days yet officially, but very excited to get out there. Lloyd, do you have something to say?
If you could ask one question to Glenn, what would you have asked?
Oh, no. I mean, I think you guys asked all the responsible adult questions.
There you go. What would have been your irresponsible adult question?
I was thinking about dinosaurs. Like, who do you expect if you got a raptor, if you got a T-Rex, and if you got a pterodactyl? Who's who? Who's your T-Rex? Who's your raptor?
On the team?
Yeah.
What's the tallest dinosaur?
So a T-Rex.
You're kind of alpha
pretty
predator.
Massive.
A bit of a dummy.
But a bit of a, well, we're not gonna
yeah,
get
well,
into
yeah,
that
okay,
part.
out there.
Never
Let's be
mind.
nice.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's kind of the king of the dinosaur jungle.
Yeah.
But
Alpha.
your raptor is your truly most feared predator.
I would say Harold Perkins is the raptor.
That was my thought.
Kind of a layup.
That was my thought.
And I don't know why I like that so much, but I do.
And the T-Rex is an interesting one.
The linebacker group is just a pack of raptors.
Right.
Yeah, and I think like he's the like in the movie there's like
Blue.
the Clavigeril
Right.
in the middle, in the classic. I mean,
Yeah, the
while
good
the
ones.
other like Weeks boys and Pyburn are coming from the sides, while you got Perkins there who's staring you in the face.
Yeah, no, it's frightening. T-Rex is a tough one. Because, I'm thinking City or Mitchell just from, the sheer size and, you see him and you're like, okay, wait, time out.
Does T-Rex command more respect?
I think the T-Rex is, the king of the...
It would be nuts.
Yeah, I kind of think so.
From a mindset standpoint, yeah.
Right, like he's it's I know we think predators, we think defense, but let's think about predatory from an offensive point of view, right? Where he's
If
the
I'm
guy with the
hungry, I'm
big
gonna
arm,
eat.
Yeah, who's just looking to eat, right? And he's going to go after weak spots he sees on the defense. Your iguanodons,
Right.
your smaller
Herbivores.
herbivores,
We got
and
no
he's gonna
herbivores. Eat you.
he's gonna
And
jump.
pterodactyl.
The pterodactyl, I think that one's honestly the most interesting.
Chris Hilton.
It's who's all over the field in one way
Right.
or another,
Ooh,
right?
Yeah, Aaron Anderson.
Aaron Anderson.
Barry Brown. Also could be Raptors.
Is it
Zach
Pickett?
Thomas.
Pickett.
DJ Pickett.
Those
Yeah.
look at that. Look at that wingspan.
Check that out.
Huh? 6'4", 6'5", out there flying all over the place, making airborne plays.
I do wonder how quickly he gets involved.
I think quick.
And also,
I do not think
it's not the
going
first
to take
dinosaur
long.
you think of. You don't think.
I think the over-under should be Florida. The Florida game. Third game of the season.
when he's straight up,
When he's DJ Pickett is on the...
he's on.
So you don't think day
on
one,
their
week
best guy.
one, snap one?
Betting on history? No. There's been one of those. It's been Will Campbell was the one. And now I think DJ Pickett's in that conversation. But Will Campbell also is one of one. And, it took Emory Jones a couple games to get out there. It took Harold Perkins a couple games to get on the field. I guess Mason Taylor also, but that was out of, sheer necessity. It's just been difficult for these freshmen, like Ahmad Bro, but that was also kind of, to me, necessity as well.
Now you don't have that necessity.
You don't have that. And I think, as much as I love Pickett, it would be nice if Ashton Stamps took that step. Because you obviously saw a jump from freshman year to sophomore year.
He's played so much.
If he does it again, then you're in a great spot with him and DeLane, because I think Mansour has the other spot locked up. I think it's a couple of guys fighting for the spot across from Mansour, because I think he's your starting corner on the other side. And so I think that's why I don't know if Pickett will get the nod straight up, but I would not be upset if he did. I'm just kind of betting on history go with the older players and Pickett kind of making his name for himself.
If you
as the
see
season goes
him
on.
get the second half nod of the Clemson game, what do you think the score is? Would you think that LSU is winning or losing?
Losing.
Me too. Because it feels like, all right, go.
Unless he goes out there and makes a play, like when he's going in, like getting subbed. I think he's going to get subbed. Like he's going to play. I think he's going to get subbed in. So like if he gets subbed in and he's on Clemson's number one wide receiver, locks him down, makes a deflection, it would be hard to not put him back out on the field.
But if they wait, then it's like we need somebody to go make a play.
Right. And so like I think it's going to be a very similar situation to how Perk was used his freshman year, where it's like we're going to like element of surprise, because you don't want, like, if he goes in there out of necessity because Stamps or Woodland or whoever it is across from, or Jakeem Jackson, whoever it is across from DLine is not performing up to par, it's a different conversation than like when Perkins was tossed in against Ole Miss and it was like, wait, timeout. I thought we had a scouting report for Oshalari and Ali Gay and whoever, the linebackers, but now we've got number 40 and Micah Baskerville just coming out of nowhere.
A whole new Dinosaur out.
So it would be almost like
that's the dinosaur that catches Newman from Seinfeld, and spits the thing in his face. You don't see him coming. You don't think he's a terrifying dinosaur.
Right.
But all of a sudden,
yeah, like a 3rd and 7 early
And
on.
then you go poop, and you get eaten.
And just been nobody. So who's that guy? You
Right.
know?
Like a 3rd and 7, nobody has, like, really, the game hasn't flipped. It's like 14-14 or 14-13. It's
God,
3rd
if
and
he
7.
makes a play in that
Clemson's
moment.
back there. You throw him in there just off of like, hey, we want somebody to go out there and make a splash.
Eat Newman.
Go eat Newman. I think
like,
if he shows flashes, he'll start to be inevitable.
Yes, I agree. Same with Harlan Berry.
I can't wait for
Because like that's
week 2 and 3 of Harlan Berry against obviously the lesser of the talented bunch that you're going to face.
Right.
But when he gets his opportunity, it's going to be a little bit like Reggie Bush for the Saints as a rookie, where like he's going to do something. At some point.
like
and you'll be like, oh my god.
Well, it's like when John Emery caught that pass against Georgia Southern. You were like,
that's a little different.
whoa,
That is the number one
whoa.
running back in the country.
Like where he catches that swing pass and it's whoop, and this guy just flies by. Like when that happened, everyone was like, pump the brakes.
Glad you got him.
Like, Clyde, I love you. Like it's going to be similar to like Caden. I think Caden's your running back, but like Harlan Berry's going to be hard to keep off the field in totality. Like
God, they have so many weapons.
Put him in that mix with Barry and Brown and Xavion Thomas of utility, all-purpose, like
I think
playmakers.
There's a pretty good chance we see a gadget look at all three of those guys, even in week 1, right? I mean, there's a chance that, assuming the offense is humming along okay.
Yeah, if that's what you get to see, something's going in your direction.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, if things seem a little stagnant, then maybe we, try to get the ball in one of those three guys' hands and see if they can be a Newman eater.
I don't envy Joe Sloan's position.
No, I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches. Like, you've got to figure out.
And people expect it to hum week 1.
Well, because they're playing EA College Football 26,
I know
and
that's
it's so
really
easy.
kind of funny.
Barry and Brown's going to be expected to win the Heisman and the Biletnikoff, like Devontae Smith in 2020, because of EA College
People
Football.
think they can do this.
Like,
because it really, for some reason, it does shape my opinion because the team is that good.
no, in the game, they are overpowered. Like,
Elite.
people are going to expect, like, they're going to be like, where's Jelani Watkins week 1? Because in EA College Football, you sub him in for Nick Anderson, and you've got 299 receivers on the field with Caden Durham at running back, and you can sub out Nussmeier to put Jawan Johnson in at quarterback who's got 95 speed and run the triple option and be just completely insufferable on online play. Like, do you think, and this is a good question, Jay Gizzle?
I like Jay
in the
Gizzle.
chat. Jawan Johnson, 1.5 snaps at QB against Clemson, over/under.
1.5?
Over.
Fuck it, over.
I'm going over.
I want it.
Do it. Red zone. Like, if you're on the 12.
Okay, I'll go
the
over.
kind of
And
stuff-
it's not because I want to see it, because I do. But
If you're on the 12-yard line, do it.
If there's a time that you can be prepared to do it, it's now.
Yes.
Like, you have a package put in place for if... but also, there's a world in which Nuss is actually
Right, humming.
and moving.
Yes.
And you don't have to do it, but I would also think that there is like inside the go zone, the green zone, blue zone.
But then wouldn't they be extra unprepared?
Twilight Zone.
They'd be extra unprepared though if you bring out.
Yeah, I mean that's not going to be in the.
But if it doesn't work, people are
report.
going to lose their goddamn minds.
Yes.
Like, why'd you take Nuss out? He's
Yes.
your best player. He's your most important player.
I don't think it's going to happen on drive one.
It could if they could.
It could. I don't think it's going to happen on drive one. I think it'll happen if it's USC again and you get to that 12-yard line, that 7-yard line, and it just goes, it fizzles out, which you hope it doesn't because you have number.
Yeah, but
you have
I
number
would say
4.
after like the first maybe failed red zone attempt and you
Right,
have to
that's what I'm
settle,
saying.
or you don't score and then it's like this is what we practiced for.
Yes.
Then you see Nuss come off the field, which
No, I
don't
think
put him
Nuss stays on the field.
It's a waste of a spot.
And I agree, but it's just for the sake of
Calling the play, essentially.
that and like I guess some sort of mystery, maybe.
He's not going to run a post.
Well, no, but like they're gonna line up with him. They're gonna see Juwan at running back, and then they're gonna motion him out wide, and they'll probably bring Barry and Brown into the backfield or whoever. And it's a read option between
Can we
Juwan
not
Johnson
just study
and
the 2019 offense and you have the pieces.
I just want to see some creativity.
Me too.
That's
That's
it.
why I feel bad for like everything you just lined out. Like this is because if it's not going to be Brian Kelly that gets his head lopped off, he has one more move.
there's one more move. It's Pete Carmichael and Dennis Allen.
Yep.
Like that is the only move he has left. He did the defensive side. The only move left is Joe Sloan.
And that would buy him one more year.
But I
hope it does.
hope it
like
doesn't.
Sloan.
Me too. And I think the
Just has so much pressure on him now.
yes, there's a lot of pressure.
Because
So-
last year I don't think I think everybody kind of anticipated maybe a little bit, and then the curve got steeper the longer you went along,
Right.
and then it
Right.
became, holy shit, son, we can't. This is not the air raid in high school. You can't throw it 60 times.
Right. Well, it's also not Jaden Daniels
But
don't
he's-
run zone read.
Right, like change your offense.
Yes.
But now you're trying to, and that's what makes me, like, it begs the question, is are we doubling down on this zone read and now Nuss has to pull it? Or is it fundamentally, do you change?
You change.
And now Nuss doesn't have, but all we're talking about again is
you
Nuss
can still
running.
run it. Like it's still a viable play you can do, but it should not be the
That's how they built their offense around.
right. Well, because you had Jaden Daniels in, so it was a layup.
But it seems like that would have been something that was very, very obvious for one reason
right.
or another.
I agree. Crim M. So Juwan will play over Michael Van Buren.
Package-wise,
I think it's a different.
wrinkle.
Yeah, Michael Van Buren's your backup quarterback. Juwan Johnson is
Wildcat.
a utility player.
Because you saw Caden do it
yes.
in spots.
Yeah, Juwan Johnson's a utility, all-purpose type player, even though he's listed at quarterback. Michael
I think
Van Buren is your
he could be
backup
such a
quarterback.
threat.
Yeah, such a weapon to have. Well, you can line up a wide receiver and you expect him to go in motion to quarterback, and instead he runs a quick dig or a slant or an out, or he motions back into the backfield and it's just a handoff to him.
If the first game
A
he
swing
played in, he
pass, all of
scored.
it. Yeah, Nichols, he scored a rushing touchdown or receiving touchdown.
Yeah,
he
it
scored a
was the
touchdown.
backfield.
And so, like that, it'll be interesting to see how what the usage rate is.
Because as exciting as it was to see John Emery come on the field and Aaron Anderson cook on that drive, and it was like, oh, this is everything I'd hoped it would be. But if you do see Juwan Johnson jog on the field and Harlem Berry jog on the field at the same time and Nuss and Durham come out, and you're like, oh, God, this could be fun. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah. So
And then it's going to be timeout.
don't forget, every single day we are brought to you by these guys right here, CAS Roofing and Advising, based out of Central Louisiana. The guys, I had lunch with the guys from CAS yesterday, and obviously they are the best in the business. There are a lot of roofers in the world. There are a lot of roofers in Baton Rouge in general. Make sure you go with a team of guys that care about you and the best results for your roof, rather than just getting the job done. These guys are the best in the business. Our guy, Pierce Patterson, his number's 225-910-0619. You see Gage Evans in the chat right there. He's a member of the CAS team. He is your project manager. He'll be sitting in your driveway when the roof's getting put on, waiting for you to come talk about JT Lindsay and LSU football as he is in the chat right there. So make sure you call CAS Roofing and Advising. Get your roof checked today. And one thing you can do is when you call 225-910-0619, mention Tingle & Co., and mention their drawing that they're doing, their giveaway of LSU football season tickets. If you are within a 50-mile radius of their office there on Magnolia Bridge Road, you are put in the drawing. If you call them, they come out, they do a free roof inspection for you. They check out, make sure you're good to go in these fall months. You will get put in the selection for those tickets. So make sure you call 225-910-0619 and get them to come look at your roof today. We will take a quick break, be right back, and we'll close it out here this morning on Tingle & Co.
Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go-Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
When it comes to your home, the roof over your head matters. At CAS Roofing, we don't just install shingles, we build peace of mind. With years of experience and a commitment to craftsmanship, our team shows up on time, gets the job done right, and treats every project like it's our own home. Whether it's repair, a replacement, or storm damage that caught you off guard, CAS Roofing is ready. We're local, we're dependable, and we stand behind every nail, every shingle, and every promise we make. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about roofing, it's about protecting what matters most. CAS Roofing, built on trust, backed by quality.
We are back here, hour number 2, closing it out here on this Tuesday morning as you can just smell football.
I can smell the grass.
You can smell the grass. You can smell
the sweat.
The odor that exudes from those pads covered in sweat. As we are bringing a new segment that we brought up at the end of the week last week. A little movie time with our guy Jonathan came up with the idea, and he pitched the first movie was Eddie, as you saw the movie poster put up in the commercial break. Whoopi Goldberg's Eddie was the movie. Quick poll in the chat: how many of you actually watched the movie? Let us know who watched Eddie over the weekend, as we all three ended up watching it last night. Not together. They watched it together. I watched it on my own in 2 times speed on YouTube because YouTube was the only place you could find it. There was no streaming it on Netflix, on HBO,
How deep of a cut
Amazon
this
Prime,
film was.
on Hulu, Tubi. Go down the list of streaming
Literally
services.
cannot pay for it.
Cannot even buy it. But somebody put out the full hour and 40 movie on YouTube. Not the greatest quality, but it got the job done. And Jonathan, I will let you take it away.
Well,
He watched it 3 times.
I watched it 3 times.
Nice.
Because I take this very
You
seriously.
want to get all the tidbits.
Yeah, and I think that 90s Sports Movie Club is going to be a nice way to get us through some of these darker days of the summer. So let's just go through real quick, right? The overview of what I do believe is a classic film in Eddie. So, Whoopi Goldberg plays Edwina Franklin, a taxi dispatcher, widow, and Knicks superfan, who, after driving the new owner of the New York Knicks from his in his limousine to the stadium, they have a bond. She talks a lot about the team, goes to the game, and they have a thing called the honorary coach contest, which of course. And she's so loud, the Knicks are so bad, he sees her from the owner's box and he says, let's stack the deck a little. And he makes sure that Eddie gets down there and gets a chance to shoot free throws to become the honorary head coach of the New York Knicks. Long story short, of course, she makes the free throw. The head coach that works there, not doing a great job. He fires
Not
that
thrilled
man,
about it.
replaces him with Eddie. The people love it, and he gives her the job full time for $50,000 a year. She coaches the New York Knicks. She becomes a great success. The entire city of New York falls in love with her. She motivates her players. They become a family, and then twist, she finds out Wild Bill, the owner of the Knicks, who's just bought the team halfway through the season, plans to sell them to St. Louis.
That's where the movie turned.
Which is, where things really got out of hand.
It wasn't the horse on the court with 4 shoes on.
And we'll get to all that, but that's what we're dealing with here. That's the plot summary of the film, Eddie. Now,
before we get into it, what would you... Rotten Tomatoes score was 16.
Mm-hmm.
What would you...
16 out of 100?
Yes.
What would you give it after watching
Out of 100. It's
better than I thought.
better than I anticipated. I was not looking forward to watching this movie. I did not have high expectations beforehand when I watched it, and I honestly forgot about it until I went and saw Superman last time in the movie theater, and I was like, shoot, I'm watching the wrong movie.
Yeah, and I thought
I'm supposed to be watching Eddie. Mm-hmm. And instead I'm watching Superman, which I enjoyed as well. But I ended up going home and watching Eddie after. And I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't hate the movie all that much. What I was anticipating was bad basketball, and that was not the case. There was no bad basketball.
Opposite of the case.
In the movie. So if I were to give it a Rotten Tomatoes score, it would not be 16. It would be
51.
Yeah, I was going to say 47. Like right around the it's average. It's an average movie. You can turn it on and not be mad that you're watching it.
I mean,
I would watch it again.
The basketball stuff was actually pretty fun. So one of the fun things about this movie is that every basketball player in the film is an NBA basketball player.
Right, which really caught me off guard.
Yeah, I mean, just to go down the list here real quick, in terms of the actual Knicks themselves, who do not play, even though they're NBA players, they play different players. So in this universe, these guys just don't exist.
The entire Knicks team is
not New York.
Actual NBA players with different names.
So it's John Sally, you have Rick Fox, you have Malik Sealy, who died in a car accident when he played for the Timberwolves, but here plays almost like the third lead, kind of in a way.
Yeah.
Mark Jackson, Dwayne Shinchius, who does
respect
Eastern European accent the whole time.
Knock it out the park.
That kind of kills it. Greg Ostertag, who shows his whole ass. And then LSU's own Vernell Singleton, who, plays a kind of a self-involved rapper / basketball player.
That refers to himself in third person quite a bit, but he's actually deeply insecure.
No, that's Stacey Patton.
That's Patton.
Oh, that's Stacey Patton.
That's Stacey Patton. So, who I actually would like to start with that. Why is Stacey Patton considered an elite player? Right? He's referred to as like the best guy on this team when all we see him do is miss obvious layups, never pass the ball. Everyone on his team hates him. But this guy is considered, the best player of the Knicks?
Yeah, I think it's the classic case of he is the most talented player from a skill standpoint.
Probably the highest paid.
But from a mindset standpoint, he is lacking, and that is where that's introduced early on in the film. That's the key problem. You really start to see them turn the page
when she sits him down.
When Patton gets benched.
For the first time all season.
All season. When he sits on the bench for the first time all year.
This has one of my favorite things about 90s sports movies is that they're written by people who never watch sports.
Like he got benched for the first time all season.
All season.
So did he? The job was like, so did he play every minute?
48 minutes all 76 games up to this 6-game winning streak.
Even though he's a small forward shooting guard, she replaces him with John Sally, who is a sinner on literally non-functioning legs. So she runs a 3 big set out there, and then he starts throwing lobs to Rick Fox,
Yeah,
things turn around in an instant.
It was unbelievable. The
That's
change
3.
they made.
And there's no real players coming off the bench. She just kind of she's very Tom Thibodeau. She runs 5 guys.
Very New York Knicks.
She runs them into the
it's
fucking ground.
Well, this is probably where Tibbs got the.
Yeah, I think this is
yeah,
where
this
she got
is
the
where he
idea.
based his coaching.
What if he
criteria.
did watch Eddie before he coached the Knicks?
And he's like, holy shit, it's all
Yeah,
it
well,
takes.
that's why he's fired.
But Eddie turns things around, and as we find out, the last game of the season, if they win it, they get to the playoffs.
Yes.
And Wild Bill, the owner of the team, who again bought it 20 games into the season,
Also, a bit of a plot hole.
Yep. has a plan and buyers in place to sell the Knicks and move them to St. Louis. Like that's a thing that would be allowed in any universe, right?
See, that was the part that really threw me off.
It's the worst part of the movie.
Because, like...
Well, they ran out of things.
The whole premise of the movie is, obviously completely out of left field, where it's a fan that comes down, is always yelling, and ends up getting hired as the coach, takes over, brings him on this run. And the most questionable, unreasonable part of the movie is not that.
No.
It's that the New York Knicks are going to be moved out of New York, out of Madison Square, the mecca of basketball, to St. Louis.
As if the league would have nothing to say about this.
David Stern's
that there are
not
no
concerned.
structures in place.
No.
Also, in this movie, there's no GM, no front
Commissioner.
office.
No, it's just straight owner.
It's just the owner and the head coach, and that's who runs a team
Yep.
together. But one of the beautiful parts of this movie. So the main 4 members of this cast, right, are Whoopi Goldberg, Frank Langella, who plays Wild Bill, the
Yes.
owner, Richard Jenkins, who you know from Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, he's the father.
He's
Step
a
Brothers.
dinosaur.
And, yeah, exactly. And then Dennis Farina, who, if you've ever seen a cop show, he's the guy that chews gum with a Chicago accent in every cop show you've ever seen. Between those 4 actors, we have 2 Oscar wins, 7 Oscar nominations, 10 Tony nominations, 10 Emmy nominations, and 5 Golden Globe nominations. And they chose to do this movie.
Right.
No question.
That was written by people who have not maybe ever seen a basketball game. But somehow, the performances kind of keep you in it. Even though
They're acting their ass off.
they are.
Unbelievable.
Wild Bill takes this bizarre turn right in right at the beginning of the 3rd act, where he's like, "You're giving me everything I want, Eddie. You're beautiful. You're a star. Here's a thing to a penthouse apartment in St. Louis. Because
Right.
I sold you and the team to St. Louis." And she's like, "You can't do that. We're the Knicks." And he's like, "I do what I want. I bought cheerleaders for tits and ass. I bought the players for skill. I bought you for fun, Eddie. I'm going to ride you like my horse because you're fun." And we're just like, where the fuck did this come from? He was this really nice, supportive guy who was like, let's just shake things up. He's like riding horses.
Character turn was crazy.
It was crazy, but you kind of believe it because he's such a good actor that you're like, oh my God, he's a real dick. So even though it is the most ridiculous film, Lloyd laughed out loud 5 or 6 times.
It was so ridiculous. And this is why I laughed out loud. And follow me on this journey. They reminded me way too much of LSU.
I didn't want to steal this from you, but this was your take. It's the Who story.
Uh-huh.
It's
Ed Orgeron.
It's the Ed Orgeron story.
It really is. Like when you get Ed Orgeron used to go to LSU football games. He played for LSU, left and went to Northwestern State, comes back. But I imagine at some point he was in the stands yelling, "Fire the coach. I can do it. I love LSU more than anything." And she makes a seminal point in the movie whenever he proposes a sale to St. Louis. And she's like, "You don't own the Knicks. New York owns the Knicks." And I was like,
Yeah.
You are not bigger than the program.
And
It's
that's
the most
LSU.
LSU thing
Yeah.
ever. I agree. You're not
And
bigger-
Whoopi Goldberg
and
is
they
Ed
have-
Orgeron.
The crowd comes down.
That would
and that's
happen.
Yeah.
and Jeff Landry is
Well, it's-
Wild Bill.
it's-
Get your fucking tiger out of
It's
here.
It's even Joe Oliva with the Will Wade deal.
I thought about that too.
Where
I
it's
said
like,
this.
where it's like
You
booing
gonna walk
Joe
into the
Oliva as he
stands?
walks into the BMAC. The entire crowd.
How out of touch
is
are
against you? You are not bigger than the program.
You're not
Joe.
bigger than the Knicks. You're not bigger than LSU.
And this is exactly what I wanted.
Unbelievable.
That was going to be one of my questions. You guys did it for me. Was how can we compare this?
Yeah, no, it really
The
that
parallels to LSU
reminds me POV of Joe
And it's dead
Oliva
on.
walking into the PMAC.
And then when people turn on him, what the St. Louis buyers, once everyone in Madison Square Garden realizes what they're going to do, they turn and run for the door.
Yes.
Like they're going to be eaten by these people.
'Cause you-
Even though they have what's, I assume is, $100 million deal in place, 96. They actually take their
They're
little
going to buy the
clipboards
franchise.
and they sprint out of the door. And the guy's assistant's like, don't go, come back.
We can
Seriously,
change
sure,
this.
It's a joke.
But that's literally the Will Wade situation where it's like, Joe Oliva, you're walking into the belly of the beast.
Yes.
And nobody likes you. And you act like you're bigger than the program.
Yeah, and you're not.
And you're not.
And we're about to let
Actually,
you know
nobody
that.
is on your side.
We're about to let you know that right now. It's a rude awakening.
It was unbelievable.
That's crazy.
And just to go through one time, just to reiterate how much fun the basketball scenes are. Here's some of the guys that are in this movie. Alex English.
Mm-hmm.
Dennis Rodman, Muggsy Bogues, Vinny Del Negro, Vlade Divac, Bobby Phils, J.R. Reed, Terrell Brandon, Brad Doherty, Mitch Richmond, Avery Johnson, Larry Johnson, Olden fucking Polynice, Scott Burrell after he was run off the Bulls, played for Charlotte in this movie.
Michael Jordan embarrassed him so much.
And then
he wasn't going to be in Space Jam.
Because of what a weird world this is, Gary Payton, Anthony Mason, and John Starks, since two of them played for the Knicks, they can't exist anymore. So they just become street ball players who then play Stacey Patton in a game that makes them and lose.
But it's the heel turn.
Yes.
It's the character
Where
turn.
he realizes I got to be a
Yes.
team player. Also, Whoopi calls his mom out there, who then tugs his ear off.
Why'd
the
you
court.
call my mama?
And then there's also Marv Albert, Chris Berman,
Yes.
and Walt Frazier.
That's who it was. That was the one I was thinking of. Walt Frazier. It said
It
when they
burned his
announced
jersey.
Walt Frazier. Yeah, they burned his
Yeah.
jersey with the fireworks.
Marv Albert's biting hookers and doing this movie. Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, former New York Mayor Ed Koch, Fabio, and David Letterman are also in this fucking film. And it just doesn't make sense, but it makes so much sense at the same time.
It's literally, I'm telling
Fabio
you guys.
catches the wig of a referee that Whoopi Goldberg rips off his hair because of a bad call, and he stands up, and everyone fucking applauds him.
It was an absolute fever dream of a movie.
She saves Rick Fox's marriage by sneaking into his room,
by hiding under his bed,
thinking she's catching him cheating.
Nope.
So she starts. Turns out he calls his dick Coach, which was also a thing I missed the first time. And then, but no, she just did save. So she saved Rick Fox's marriage. She made everyone believe in themselves again. She also got to do a montage where she got dressed up in the middle of a basketball montage
That never carried over to the court.
They Russian dolled it, where
A
they
little
put a
Kim Mulkey.
montage
Right.
within the montage. Yeah, she had some Kim Mulkey looks going on there.
And coaching style.
I mean, just
Also,
a bizarre experience.
insults a man's penis.
Oh yeah,
Yes, just walks into
Goes
the
into the
showers
shower.
when the team is showering
and small penis
ruins
humiliates.
this one
Shower
guy's
must be
life.
cold.
The water was making shrink. I was like, oh
You had
my
a pimple
god!
on your leg.
It's just really.
And that's when the team wasn't playing well. She
Yeah.
was lashing out.
Yeah, she not yet won a game at this
Right.
point. This wasn't when she got her winning streak.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Donald Trump popped up, and I was like, of course.
Well, and the Donald Trump quote was the most.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I told him Eddie should coach.
It was my idea.
I called Eddie as
Fire
the
Eddie.
coach, quite frankly, a long time ago.
Man for 30 years.
I walked into Madison Square Garden. I said, "Wow, Eddie should coach. Who's this woman I'm hearing? Give her the coach $50,000. We
I
paid
saw it
her."
first.
Rudy Giuliani said.
Yeah. The Wild Bill.
But
He tried
it
to sell
was
the Knicks. I would never.
it was an unbelievable movie. I can't believe that I went and bought tickets to go see Superman last night. DC, one of the biggest grossing films out right now. And then I followed up with Eddie, and Eddie is the one that I cannot remove from my brain. I continue to think, not Superman, not the movie that I spent money to go see. The one I watched a recording of on YouTube is the
At
one
2
that
times
is
speed.
ingrained in my brain.
Also, just one last fun fact that I just really didn't want to leave off because I did some research into the filming and some of the stories behind the movie. Frank Langella, Wild Bill, and Whoopi get involved romantically during the film and both divorce their partners to move in together and then are together through 2000 until they break up. She tries to make him live in her pool house. They still don't get along, so she evicts him from their pool house. And that's
This
the
is
end of their
real life.
relationship. Yes, but that really happened. They both divorced their spouses because they fell in love
On the set of
on
Eddie.
the set of Eddie. Wild
Why
Bill
not?
And Eddie, even though he told her, I'm gonna ride you around like a horse, I was apparently like that might have been the scene that turned him on so much because it was like actually this weird like rooftop romantic dinner that they were kind of having.
Yeah, like they definitely
before
were.
He like wanted to break this news.
The chemistry was there.
Yeah. And then he
ruined their lives because of Eddie.
Yeah, and they ruined their lives.
What
because of the passion.
It Coldplayed it.
The gravity that this movie holds.
I mean, Eddie literally changed the course.
It was unbelievable. Seville Eddie is a rerun classic now? I think so.
It is.
I think so. Like
honestly, if nothing else, even if you don't watch these movies necessarily on the first run,
go watch them after we talk about them.
The hope is that after we talk about them, you get the inspiration to go check it out because it's a better way to spend your time than a lot of the movies out there. And again,
no, obviously, I mean, I bought tickets
of
to the movie theater in Perkins Row to go watch Superman.
$150 million movie.
Yeah, and I can't stop thinking about Eddie.
Whereas Eddie cost $30 million and made 31.
Yes,
let's go.
Made a profit.
They turned a profit on Eddie, baby.
Eddie 2.
Eddie 2. I don't know why we're not doing Eddie 2. I know why.
Why?
Because you can't fucking touch
you can't remake a classic.
You can't fix this.
You don't ruin this.
Also, no one remembers that it happened except for me.
Yeah, thank God.
No, I had never heard of this
movie.
I
thought it was one that everyone would be like, oh yeah, like right, I kind of remember that. No. Nobody had any recollection this movie ever happened, and I guess it just stuck with me when I watched it at like 9 or whatever.
Well, I mean, I see why. Like, I'm going to remember this movie for the remainder of my being.
If you're 9, you would be like, this is somewhat normal. Like, it's not that ridiculous until it gets to, like, it's a good 90s, like,
and I didn't,
movie,
at that age, I didn't really understand the.
But something stuck.
The mechanics of moving a team like New York, how it's actually impossible. But.
It was still so ridiculous.
It was still like, but she's kind of charming. She's got 2 Oscars. She's got an EGOT, for Christ's sake. Whoopi Goldberg has an EGOT.
I don't know what that is.
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Only one of a handful of people to do it.
And 3 divorces.
And only one of 2 actors to do it. Everyone else, they're musicians.
Right.
So, I mean, you can see why she's a magnetic performer.
No, I mean, I appreciate you bringing this.
And she pulled Ted Danson.
Ted Danson.
He put on blackface to roast her.
Oh.
At a, at one of those Friars roasts.
Wow.
And,
that aged well.
It almost tanked his career.
Yep.
Even in the 90s. Anyway.
So we will obviously make sure so you can be involved in this discussion next Tuesday. We will do the same thing with the movie that we select.
Yeah, and we'll let
you guys know.
We'll let you know by Thursday.
What movie to watch.
Kenny Balala. Whoopi must have some good pie. Same thing happened with Ted Danson.
Exactly.
There you go.
She did look good in the movie. Which
stretch.
She was charismatic. Like, I get it.
Right. It's the humor.
Energy,
it's the personality that you're.
Well, her friend in the movie is she's a teacher from
Abbott Elementary. Yeah.
Which is a very popular Hulu show right now. She's the one with the red hair.
Oh, she's the Philly
She's like the Italian, the Philly.
She's
the blonde in this film.
Yes.
And they're like, how much did that dress cost? Can't be a lot because there's not much to it.
Come on.
Yeah.
Also, Eddie bought an Armani suit even though he only paid her $50,000 to do his job, and I was just like, how bad are you at spending money?
She just turned in the paycheck for the suit.
Yeah.
But that was her. Like,
I guess her treat to herself.
Yeah. Yes. I've earned this.
We'll let you guys know.
All in all,
real quick.
It's a good kickoff to 90s movie.
Yeah, it is. It was a great
club.
Opening
some
movie.
of the stunts that Eddie pulls. Showing up late to the game to get into the playoffs because he's upset, and not only that, getting kicked out by tossing the man's hair, and just overall coaching the team.
Well, and then also she takes a 20-second timeout and then just walks out into the middle of the court to tell everybody what Wild Bill is up to,
and they continue the game.
And nobody is like, this is.
That's what begged me to ask the question. I wrote it down in my notes. I was like, how much can you get away with if you win? Because it made me think of like Urban Meyer, Joe Paterno. Like, if they love you, if you're
they will look the other way.
Like, she walked onto the court.
She joined the dancing team and did the Macarena.
That's the other one. That was insane.
You can get away with almost anything if you are winning.
And that's one of the truths. Eddie had a few truths.
Especially your own fan base.
Like, oh, that's Eddie being Eddie.
Will ignore a lot of things if you continue to win.
They will turn psychotic behavior into wholesale positives.
Yeah. So, what a movie.
I was thinking about Ed again.
Right.
Like, if he went out, like, what think about what he did before the Alabama game when he walked down the hill. That's just as absurd as doing the Macarena. They want him to do the haka. And everybody's like, yeah.
Yep. No, I mean, you can, like...
It's just LSU. It's
if
so
you're
funny.
winning, you can get away with a lot.
Yeah. It really did make me think a lot. I was like, this is us, which is unfortunate, but also... You can't fake it.
Well, yeah,
That's why I like the movie so much. I related to it.
LSU coach is eating grass on the sideline right now, and because they won the game, it
turned into an ESPN commercial.
On an ESPN, you know, or like
I do it now
instead of
clap like a seal.
Right, the sissy blue shirt. If LSU beats UCLA,
that's an all-time sell.
It's an all-time. But because you lose,
it was your all-time downfall.
Yes. So, wow, what a movie it was.
I had no idea it would connect so much with that.
I know. It was. Thank you, Jonathan. And we'll let you guys know what movie to watch this weekend to be ready for next Tuesday.
God, please watch it. And
because we want y'all to be involved in this, please.
And this is just a good, it's so much fun. Because Wild Bill was just Jeff Landry.
And just, 90s sports movies do hit different.
Yeah.
They just do.
Major League is very close to this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really similar plot to Major League.
Yeah. Just do it for then you could say the same thing about Any Given Sunday.
Oh, well, I mean, that's definitely going to happen before the summer's over.
Oh,
yes, of course.
But, I'm trying to figure the right sweet spot for it.
But
they want Little Big League very badly.
I mean, I'm down. That is on the list already. So.
And that is, we talked about this movie also.
Yeah. Rookie of the Year and Little Big League are...
I love Rookie of the Year just because
Cubs. Stone Colds.
Of course.
Couple Stone Colds.
But Little Big League did the same thing that Eddie did because the baseball is so good at it because they cast them they asked for baseball players, not actors.
Right.
Like, y'all can figure this part out. But the baseball in the movie is so good. Ken Griffey Jr. is in it a lot.
like a few scenes.
And he
Barry
doesn't
Bonds,
talk. Yeah, they have him robbing home runs, making him do stuff.
Or is that... I'm kind of getting confused, the two films, because the little guy with the arm strikes out some big league hitters. Mm-hmm. But then the manager boy outmanages some... Anyway...
Yeah, but Little Big
League
we'll
do them both.
We'll do another deep dive. But this is this segment has legs.
Yeah, no, I mean this was a great opening. Opening.
I think we might have started off too hot.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be hard to follow up, Eddie.
Yeah,
I mean it's.
Because I'm seeing the rest of these. This is a thing that existed in my life until yesterday, and I couldn't be more happy. And I should have known when I saw the poster.
Yeah, no, I mean that That really gives away. That's the movie right there.
There's one of the guys
with
a small penis right in the back.
Mm-hmm. So, and I thought for sure she was going to end up there's a million different ways they could have gone opposed from the selling, maybe an affair with you would think it would go female head coach, a bunch of
like John Sally and her had a
chemistry. They had a lot of chemistry.
Yeah, but this is not a drama. Like if it was a drama, that would be the easiest term.
I like it that they kept it basketball. They kept it,
I'm cool with that. Don't ruin it.
I just thought that's where
of course.
it go. Where she sleeps with Rick Fox. Double time.
Oh, that would have been. Yeah, it's a different movie. That's
a way different movie. I mean, maybe you should start writing movies. Like the first '90s sports movie that I could that stuck with me before that was Basketball.
Oh God,
which was just an unbelievable movie. Have you seen that one, Lloyd?
Movie.
What?
Basketball?
Oh my God.
Yeah, just
that is.
I mean, you know who wrote it?
Of course.
Yeah. And it's
a disgusting film.
It's also very good.
No, it is.
The consternation amongst the two friends and what happens.
We don't want to go through. This might still be on the list.
You get emotionally invested.
You do,
and you get upset.
Which
is a good movie.
Maybe this is the thing we extend past the summer.
No, we can continue. I mean, football season will be tough because the weekends will be booked up.
Oh, if LSU loses,
but sometimes you just might need a palate cleanser.
Yeah,
a
palate cleanse.
But
like Eddie.
But definitely for the rest of the summer, we're gonna have this. So
that's awesome. Make sure you like. Subscribe. I guess we should do some trivias and such.
We have to do Athletic Connections, as Hunter Hall has done it and said clean slate. So
thanks for giving me the extra time there to work on Eddie.
You put your effort in.
No,
it was incredible to see.
Work.
Which
I watched that fucking thing 3 times.
Yeah, and you had incredible takes.
You did. No, I mean, if there's anybody that I ever need to call for Eddie trivia, it would be Jonathan.
Yeah. Oh God, that's unfortunate for you.
Sure is. But fortunately, though, no one's ever going to ask for Eddie trivia.
No, probably not.
But if it's if you had gun to your head, and you're like, give me an Eddie question, and they're like, well, I don't even know what to ask. Good. I feel like I'm winning already. All right.
Let's see. What do we have here? We have a bulldog, a volunteer, a gamecock, and a razorback.
So Inter, Milan, Atalanta, and Napoli are Italian.
Where's the other one?
Next to
Volunteer,
Banana
these
Boat.
are all SEC boys.
With no S's.
Atalanta, Napoli, Milan, and Inter
Soccer, something.
are Italian Serie A teams.
Well, you really... Ugh.
That's how you say
You really
it, bro.
hooked it up, yeah.
Marquette, 3, Miami, Banana Boat.
Yep.
That's Dwayne
Dwayne
Wade.
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 And then Mad Dog Moose, the Big Train.
These are all nicknames.
Come on, Hall of Fame bitches.
Here's the big train.
Boom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That
Yeah,
was
there you go.
impressive.
You go Hunter Hall.
Everybody got one.
Where's our? We gotta do the trivia though. Always,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Daily
you
Dozen.
gotta get your
We'll
fix.
stay here all day, fellas. Stay here all day.
God.
Ain't nobody mind a little extra
All
show
day.
going again.
All day, like, what?
Eddie, man, Eddie. I can't believe it.
Me either.
It really did blow my mind.
And the fact that you can only find it in one place, because the
YouTube,
quality is not
recording.
great. And so
No.
I
Like,
looked
it's
also...
not so bad of a movie that it should be erased from history. That's what I just didn't get. It was like, certainly not the only. Obviously, there are many of me, but I'm not the only person that has fond memories of this film. This strange classic.
It is a strange classic, that's for sure.
I wonder why it's erased from history.
I don't know.
Something had to have happened.
Hunter Hall made a good point in the chat.
Yeah, I wonder if that's true.
Possibly.
If Epstein put together this casting, or Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
And then it wouldn't make sense.
Harvey has a really prominent role in Entourage.
Yeah, he's in it a lot.
A lot.
Is he the iceberg lettuce? He wants
Yeah.
the wedge salad?
Yes.
And he gets real mad.
Real
And
mad.
Johnny Drama has to talk to him.
No, E's trying to let him know Vince is quitting the film.
Yeah, and he doesn't talk to him in the bathroom.
Well, E leaves to go to the bathroom, and then Harvey meets him there. You gonna
And
make me
he
sit there?
he peers weird. Like the pee is weird. He's disgusting. Like even if he wanted to be portrayed
Dude,
like in a positive light,
It
he's a
is
disgusting, vile.
Such a good show.
Ugh, he's gross.
He's a mutant little penis.
Yeah, he does because he used to
in the
put shots
reports.
into it because he couldn't get hard anymore.
All right, let's go play trivia.
That's a celebrity mashup.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
Wait, is that the?
It's the guy from the jury duty show, the actor.
James Marsden? Is that the girl from Friday Night Lights?
Oh, that is. Oh man, she
What's
is.
her name?
She's a cheerleader. That the quarterback unfortunately gets paralyzed.
She's Layla. In the
Layla. Is that her real name?
No, in the show. We're allowed to look it up when we know the show she's from. Right?
No.
No,
No?
we
I
did
tried
this
yesterday.
yesterday.
We'll try James Marsden.
Yes, that's who the.
Oops.
Yep. Hello.
Celebrity. Oh, let's do it this way.
It's definitely James Marsden and the ears, and I keep saying the back because like he's standing behind her. And then who is the female? What's her name?
She dated Derek Jeter for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I have Googled her.
It's not Wonder Woman, P-Dub, because
It's not Gadot.
It's not Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot.
It's who we think it is,
I'm,
right?
I'm right about this, right? I think.
I don't know her name. Seafield says that's literally already a person. Caitlyn Jenner.
It does look. Yeah, that's
Stop.
unfortunate.
Ah,
What's her name? Lola. Maybe, what if she did a double?
It's like not even
No,
close in my head.
we'll come back to it,
but we know it.
but you'll know it. We've got this one locked up.
We just don't know her name.
I knew Marsden quickly.
That movie's interesting,
That
also.
stout
It's also
jawline. What
pretty,
movie?
pretty impressive, the Marsden thing, because
Jury Duty?
Yeah,
Is a
he's
show.
the hard one to get. Like I wouldn't see Marsden here. I don't know
Oh.
where he starts.
Well, I
and
just
she
watched.
ends.
Did you watch Paradise
No,
on Hulu? I think it was on.
it sounds bad.
Where he's the president. It's such a good show.
he's the president.
No,
Such a good
this is
show.
like your Central coming out.
No. I'm telling you, this is such a good show.
I don't believe you.
I've actually heard good things about it.
It's a very good show, Lloyd. You would love it. I'm telling you, guaranteed. I'll put money on it. A lot.
Okay, maybe I'll watch it.
You should watch it.
NFL.
NFL.
It's like something.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Riley Cooper. That's a insane pool.
I remember
Riley Cooper from
Damn.
Florida.
Jason Avant from.
Don't know.
Michigan?
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is Philadelphia.
Yep. played with this team in Madden 13 because you could have Michael Vick was the quarterback.
Mm-hmm. He should have won Comeback Player of the Year, and he should have been on the cover of the next one. Instead, they put on that, well, who turned out to be a hero, but it was the fullback for Arkansas that beat LSU.
Hillis?
Peyton Hillis.
Three-headed monster.
Did turn out to be a hero.
He was.
Yep. Well, Peyton Manning was
Oh,
Tennessee.
Jesus. I mean, make me...
Boo! Disgusting.
Remember when he tripped over his offensive lineman's foot on 4th and 5, and then they still put up a banner that said SEC West co-champs?
At his peak, this Clippers center averaged 60 points and 10 rebounds. Is it Elton Brand?
Is it
DeAndre...
before this, the white guy.
Chris Kaman?
Yes, I think it's Chris
Would
Kaman.
he average that many points?
Yeah, he had a couple. He was an all-star.
He was an
last season.
all-star.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
well, yeah. No, Kaman's a good. Yeah,
I think it's Chris
guess.
Kaman.
I'm cool with Kaman.
That's fun.
It's a good guess.
Yeah,
There you
nice.
go.
Good job, Johnny. Johnny be good. Johnny be late. What was the last country to surrender during World War II?
Japan?
I don't know. And that's embarrassing. Because I don't have to know because America...
Well, the war in Europe ended
I think
first.
Japan. I think it's Japan. Oh, I mean, technically the United States because they didn't
Never
they
surrendered. Nice. Oh, back to this.
No, skip. Come back to it.
Fuck. Oh, I almost had like a.
They say Glimmer said Mariska Hargitay.
No.
No.
Okay.
That's the SVU lady.
Oh yeah, no, that's not.
Oh, you've seen every season of that.
I had. It's still going. There's a
Yeah,
point in
it's
time
still
where I
going.
had, but
God, I fucking can almost see it.
We'll come back to it.
Something like that. Grocery products.
sure.
Oh, Totino's.
Yes. Good job.
Delicious.
It is very good.
Went through a Totino's phase.
House of Dragon.
Yeah, this is my girl.
Hot D.
I thought you were talking about me.
No.
I would assume that that makes it seem like I'm an STD.
At the hot D.
Got the hot D. And
An
actually, good
actually
movie.
Good movie.
Oh, it's Eddie.
Oh, another teen movie.
really?
Not another.
Not
teen
another
movie.
Not
teen
another
movie.
teen movie.
I had this on fucking DVD.
Mm-hmm. And
Music.
Jamie Presley plays a high school cheerleader, and it's actually somewhat believable. And she's like 42.
It's hot though.
She is hot.
Top 20 song in your Billboard. Oh, the motto. Y'all don't get it, do you?
I'm not gonna get this one.
About it every day. Sitting on the bench. We don't really play every day. Anybody say, oh my gosh, Becky, look
Look
at her
butt.
butt. Tunchi.
Is it?
I think it's Lil Wayne.
That would make sense.
I think it's Lil Wayne.
that
This was the Drake Lil
that was
Wayne
the
era.
Drake Lil Wayne era.
Yeah. This is.
I think it's Lil Wayne.
This was at the bar. But is it Big Sean on that also? Or is it just? I think it's just Wayne.
I think it's just Wayne.
And I would go to my grave if I, didn't put him. Yes.
All right, now
This
what the
one
fuck?
woman. We related all of us, our crew, to the Entourage cast.
Oh yeah.
Who do you think you are?
I don't know. I'm not gonna like it.
Just guess. Out of the 4,
Yeah, and Lloyd's
or I
not-
guess the 5
Oh,
with
excuse me, Johnny Drama.
with Ari.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Guess who Christian is?
Turtle. Wait, who do you two think you are?
Well, this is the tough part.
Nobody's Ari.
No,
He wants to be, but nobody is
I'm
that
gonna
much.
become Ari, but I'm not Ari yet.
He's
If it really came down to it, I would be the easiest
one to
pick
pick.
for E.
Yeah,
But then that would make Lloyd Vinny.
right. We can't have that.
But it's
Lloyd
also
can't be
true.
Vinny.
Technically, your name's the name of the show. It's kind of put you at the center,
But,
you know. So in that sense, you're the Vince.
but that's just because he cares more. Like E, Vincent would not have a career if
Right.
E didn't exist. Much
Right.
like Noah.
Yeah,
Right.
but also, E keeps the whole thing together.
That's why he's E.
you
I know, and E is
It's
the
unfortunate.
easiest. I know.
And it's very cool for me to be Vincent.
I know. It's annoying for you to be Vinny.
Because it works out. Never really worried.
Kate Beckinsale,
Nope.
Seville says. We've got to get
We
this.
know who it is. We just don't know her name.
It's dumb.
Would you phone a friend?
I wouldn't know who would know. I do know one person that would know.
I do.
Call
But he
them
wouldn't
right now.
know.
They're not awake.
Her name in real life.
They would know Friday Night Lights, and they've seen it a million times, but I don't think they would know.
I've seen it a million.
I know, but I know who.
Would they answer the phone if you called them right now?
Yes.
Then do it. It's worth a shot.
Should I FaceTime him?
Who is it?
Marcus?
Oh, you could.
I'm trying to picture the opening credits, all their little names.
So say what the name is in the show.
She's Layla Garrity.
Layla Garrity.
In Friday Night Lights.
Mm-hmm.
What is the actress?
Oh, maybe Hunter would know, too.
It's like a
Hunter knows
it's like
more
a hot,
movie
it's like a hot
stuff.
girl name.
Because Gage just said LG, but that's the character's name
Mm-hmm.
in the show. We need the IRL name. Minka Kelly.
That's
Yes.
it. That's it.
Andrew Messina in the chat.
I knew it was something sexy.
I told you, I said it. I just said it. It's a hot girl name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then James Marsden.
Ugh, I don't care about him
We're
anymore.
about to get. This is it. This is the one.
Yeah!
We did it! Finally! Finally!
Young
my
Kings.
Gosh, we did it.
And I get to Google Minka Kelly.
God, we did it. That is awesome.
Minka Kelly, Friday
First
Night
time.
Lights.
Nice work, boys. That was a true team effort.
I just look. Do you want to know what the first thing that popped? Do you know how sick people are?
What is it?
I put in Minka Kelly, Friday Night Lights, and it goes hot. Of course, but
Shout out to Andrew
and
Messina.
she's a little bit of a two-timing whore.
Needed
In the
that.
show, yeah.
Needed that. God, that was massive. We did it. 9 for 9. Real team effort. That was awesome.
Great work all together.
That was good.
She's not.
Should we do something else or should we leave?
I mean, at some point the show has to end.
It is almost 9:30.
Yeah, we can go on forever.
It's true.
Oh, is she dating the lead
She
singer
dates-
of Imagine Dragons?
Probably she did Derek Jeter for a while.
Oofta.
Oh, she was in the recent show and the one that was on Netflix, The Ransom Canyon.
You watch terrible
One that
television.
just came out on Netflix. I just watch when new stuff comes out. I would
Oh.
like to watch everything.
This is bizarre.
Some of these just feel
What?
like girlfriend shows to me. Is that what's happening?
Do what?
Like girlfriend shows. Like your girlfriend wants to watch them. And
No, I don't like when people bring stuff up and I have no reference point.
I typically agree with you on that.
Yeah,
But
I like to have a reference
Which
point
one's
to most
which?
things. She's the one on the left.
I know, but how crazy is that?
such a good show.
I know, but she is a bit of a whore, right? Because how down low rotten can you be for your boyfriend to be in a wheelchair? He has a full ride to Notre Dame, and you're all about it. You're the
She
head
knows his
cheerleader.
best friend who's walking HPV.
Right.
He's just
She
sentient
fell for the bad
HPV.
boy. It's just, I mean, but do you blame her?
Yes,
I mean, because he's in a wheel. I don't know if he's impotent.
he is. Remember she tries to.
Jerk him off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess at some point he has to get. I mean, you were 18. I need a life. I want kids.
Right.
But you don't have to pick. What's his name? Riggins.
Well, yeah, just don't do that one thing. You know, like.
And then
kindly-
Riggins probably shouldn't do it.
Yeah, Riggins also a bad guy.
Yeah.
Riggins is a very bad guy.
But he had a bad life.
True.
Seville said, so we know Caitlyn Jenner is a combination of Minka Kelly and James Marsden.
Honestly, you know, it's a pretty kind to her.
Get the picture. Stop putting the picture on the screen.
The real winner here is
Eddie.
Yeah.
and us.
And us because we watched Eddie. No, not me. I'm a
because of this.
loser because I...
Celebrity Mashup only 13%
Let's go.
of people got.
Look at us.
Well, that's
And
since we got
23% of
Mr.
the
Magic.
NBA.
I never would have got James Marsden.
Yeah.
Just
Look at
off
us.
of that was just like that was a generic.
Head.
No, Marsden,
actors.
it's Marsden's hair. It's the hair and the jawline that stuck out to me, you know?
What a fucking talent you have.
It really is. A little creepy. Oh, oops.
Chris came in though.
Did you just kill us?
Not a lot of people got that one.
Still up, or is the TV dead? But we appreciate you guys joining us, hanging out with us, watching movies with us, playing trivia with us. All of it. Make sure you like and subscribe. Ring the bell. Like we said, we have some really exciting things coming up this
None
week.
more than today.
No.
We brought it all today.
We did.
We had a little bit of silliness.
Some football.
A new thing, but we had a great
We did an
guest.
interview.
Yeah, we did. We knocked this. That's
It's
Tingle and Co.
It's somebody for every day.
If you don't like the
That's what we do
if
here.
you don't like the show, you will not like the show. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's kind of the platonic ideal of what
We're
at
going
here.
for.
We didn't go fully wacky.
Nope.
We've done that before. Got
Not a
kicked
lot.
off of the internet.
Yes. But we will have Keelan Moses in studio tomorrow. We'll
And there's
record it,
that version
and
of the show.
It'll be out on Thursday. We'll have offensive lineman Cohen Eccles. Obviously, the offensive line, much to be talked about. We'll have a member of that group, of that room, Cohen Eccles, joining us on Saturday. It'll go out on Monday. So make sure you are tuned in. Make sure you have that bell rung, the subscribe button hit. Punch the subscribe button.
Take
JD
the phone.
and Nick
Tingle.
Underhill tomorrow.
Take the
hopefully.
phone.
Hopefully. We'll
Because
see.
the New Orleans Saints did start camp today.
They did start camp today.
And
so
he's in a van
in
down by the
newswire.
river.
That was an awesome van.
Pat McAfee did that also,
Yep.
so
And
good move. It
Make sure you
usually
stay
works
tuned
out.
to everything coming up. We have some exciting things on the horizon for football season.
Are you nervous about? Would you have one question for Keelan Moses?
I'll think about it. Yeah.
There you go. We are a part of the Believe podcast network.
Yes.
We're getting that underway and rolling. The BLEAV Believe podcast network, as we are officially a part of that team. We've got some really exciting stuff for football season coming up with some of our old friends. Maybe not the old friends you're thinking of, but some old friends.
We have some new friends too.
And some new friends as well. So we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 7 to 9. Love you.
30.
7 to 9:30, 7:45 to 10:08. You never know.
We got enough for
Keep you
everyone.
on your what?
P's and Q's.
Your toes.
Ah. Nika Kelly.
Okay.
Eddie.